I look and see, it's not just me.
Jeff, why do you insist on doing this dumb internet shit on TV?
I look and see, it's not just me.
This place is a fucking joke, man. You're a clown. I quit.
So many of us have stood where we stand. We are the young, so raise your hand. So many of us have stood where we stand. We are the young, so raise your hand. We call us problem child. We spend our lives on trial. We walk an endless mile. We are the youth gone wild. We stand and we won't fall. We're one and one for all. The writing's on the wall. We are the youth gone wild.
No. It doesn't make logical sense, but it makes.
Well, yes, of course.
But it makes wrestling booking sense. Of course, this makes no sense. Of course, okay, it makes no sense. However, in pro wrestling booking, which often makes no sense, you would do that. It's about making money. It's not about anything else. Wrestling's always been about making money first and foremost. That's it.
Yes, I look and see, it's not just me.
Last weekend was the greatest weekend in AEW history. This is the greatest week.
I look and see, it's not just me.
Security, my safety, my life was in danger at a wrestling show.
So many of us have stood where we stand. We are the young, so raise your hand. So many of us have stood where we stand. We are the young, so raise your hand. We call us problem child. We spend our lives on trial. We walk an endless mile. We are the youth gone wild. We stand and we won't fall. We're one and one for all. The writing's on the wall. We are the youth gone wild. We call us problem child. We spend our lives on trial. We walk an endless mile. We are the youth gone wild. We stand and we won't fall. We're one and one for all. The writing's on the wall. We are the youth gone wild. Let me get wild. Yeah.
If you're familiar with how we do things often here on these Wednesdays, it's a lot like one of my favorite movies, Time Cop.
What? Fuck you. Fuck you.
Yeah.
Fuck. Damn it, God damn it.
Yeah.
Fuck. Damn it, God damn it.
Ladies and gentlemen, shit's about to hit the fan.
The system is broken. It was time for a revolution. We could be the wrestlers that we want to be.
We have our own stories. We make our own characters.
Different. That's what makes us elite.
I've been forced to vacate the AEW World Trios Championship.
Fun created a revolution.
Show days, super chaotic. A lot of times we get here and we don't know what we're doing till hours, minutes before we go out there.
There literally are, I think some weeks, 100 talents running around backstage.
At that point, it caught Tony Khan's ear, and he started thinking, maybe I want to do this, let's get together. And I guess the rest is history, right?
We're just getting started, but it's a great fight to start a great night.
Orange Cassidy in serious trouble.
This will be fun, right? I'm excited. Ready to go? Go to break.
Figured out what works as a heel in the ring for me.
Austin wants to be here so bad.
Is it a break spot?
Not yet.
We need to build an army right now.
It was good. That's a good match.
You thought everything looked okay? Yeah. I just feel like...
You tonight.
That was big.
Damn it, God damn it. We've seen this time and time again out of Jericho and Guevara.
That's awesome. That was great. Ah! Yes! Sick!
He's going to take it! And Claudio Castagnoli.
Is that heavy, Tony? No. I gave you extra time. Take a break for right now. Go. They're really flying through. Hey! That was perfect.
1, 2, 3.
Are you okay? That was great. Way to get him up at the end. You got him back. That was great. Pick him up. That was a great finish.
Oh, yeah.
Going into the card rundown. We'll feel out the ending, and then we'll go into the card rundown bumpers.
With Ty Mello, Dr. Ty and Anna, and Will Nightingale taking Britt Baker with Sky in her sights, and now Sky Blue goes down. You might catch her. Look at team match right there. JD Hater coming up right now. The Elite versus Death Triangle.
The sooner you get to the Death Triangle, the better, man.
Good. All right, the Bucks are attacking. Oh, this.
We're good. We got a minute or so. We want to get him going. Get him off this.
March charging right back at Hangman. Now,
I like this thing.
I don't think I've ever seen anyone hit with an elbow like that. Oh, modern day pro wrestling. Danielson.
We're doing good. We're doing good on time. This is good. Hey, hometown hero. Way to go. Welcome back. Yeah, it's great.
Welcome back.
Loved it.
Welcome back.
Hey, welcome back. You okay?
Oh, I'm great.
Whenever you're ready. Whenever you're ready to get it going.
A secret.
Am I safe?
What am I saying?
Oh my God. They snuck in. It's beautiful. Thanks for getting in.
Of course. So it felt great to see Tony. He has been incredibly supportive through this entire process. Of course, we had communicated and talked, but it's not the same as seeing someone face to face.
Hey, I'll close the door. I'm going to run by every time I go to the bathroom.
Oh my God! Of course.
Share a bathroom.
Yes.
It's Wednesday. You know what that means? AEW Dynamite is live in Los Angeles at the fabulous Kia Forum.
All right, we're 2 minutes here. I'm going to give you the 5 in about 30.
A win.
Thank you.
So I talked to Tony last week, and he told me there's a plan. So I just got to trust him. You know, I trusted him before, and I became TNT champion 3 times.
Dr. Britt Baker should be better than these. Neck break. She's near fall. Let Saraya blow into the shot. Here's our finish.
I decide I'm not only going to hide in Tony's office, but I'll hide in Tony's bathroom.
Oh, shit! She missed that table. She landed right on the floor.
Hey, you did? Oh, yeah. It's crazy. To get to the bell in 2 and change so we can celebrate.
At this point,
Literally ready to throw up.
Let's do it.
At the ring.
Thanks, Tony.
Thank you.
Thank you.
This is it. I didn't.
Let's go.
Boom. In months.
Ooh, what's happening, guys? Welcome to another eclectic edition of PWT Live Show. I am your host, Phil Marks. Yeah. And today, AEW is topical once more, ladies and gentlemen. How y'all doing? As the dust from Mania sort of clears and we head into All In and these other spectacles that revolve around AEW, finally we're back to like a regular Wednesday show where we're just gonna jump through the segments and do the damn thing, and it's not going to be all so WrestleMania focused. There is still some fallout from WrestleMania, right? The Rock decided to show up on Pat McAfee. We're going to talk about that. In the title it says Dave Meltzer was right. Was he? Because I have to apologize actually today about absolutely fucking nothing to absolutely nobody, right? Dave is not right just because he said, oh, The Rock isn't going to be there and he wanted to turn Cody Rhodes here. Like, that doesn't make him right about all the stuff he's wrong about all the time, right? The old saying, even a broken clock, okay? So, and also he was wrong about all the details leading up to this stuff. We're going to break it down. Don't worry. We have Dave melting down as it's become to be known. We have the IWC just, melting down also about WWE and AAA and about AEW stuff. And just Sicko's doing the most because it's all they can do, right? They just thrive off of getting attention from people who don't give a shit about AEW. That's like what they want more than AEW even to be good, right? So we have Master P is going to be on Dynamite tonight. I'm going to throw Master P on and AEW. We're going to watch it. Heading into year 3 of PWT and this new year, I've told myself I'm going to etch a sketch a bit. I used to say it in the past. I'm like, we have to etch a sketch and just sort of like come at this again. So I'm going to etch a sketch going into the all-in. Like, I'm going to give them as fair as a fucking shake as I can. I want to try and get WrestleMania vibes off all-in if we can. It's not going to happen. We'll do our best, though. I want to try and just, like, not forget everything, but we're going to etch a sketch a bit. We're going to look at this. Like, AEW hasn't mattered in the last, the last month. It hasn't mattered. So now let's just give them a chance to matter tonight. That's what we're going to do. We're going to look. We're going to try and go, this is good. Hopefully this build-up, we're going to try and, hey, they waited last minute for the build-up for WWE. If everyone wants to pretend WWE's doom and gloom and AEW's up right now, okay, let's give them that shot tonight. That's what we're going to do when we watch Dynamite. It's going to be amazing. We have, let's see if Dave Meltzer complains about Master P being at Dynamite the way he complained about Cuervo, right? So calling people Cuervo and shit, that doesn't mean Meltzer gets every hack fucking person on Twitter. Oh, that's what Meltzer was right. 1,000 likes. Oh, it turns out Meltzer was actually right. Holy shit, man. So we're gonna get into all of that. We're gonna talk about Joe Hendry a bunch, right? He's the topic of discussion. A lot of people are like, Joe Hendry got buried, and even Meltzer's like, he got squashed in 3 minutes. And it just is what it is, right? It's just a bunch of out of touch wieners trying to be like mad at TNA because that's what they've been doing, especially leading into this WrestleMania season. So, we're definitely going to have a great time, and I'm excited. I'm very, very much excited. We have, everything. Sickos, Dave Meltzer. We got a little bit of WWE stuff just to sort of follow up. And we have light news, and I can't wait to hang out with you guys for the next handful of hours. I hope you're all doing incredibly well. I can't wait to break all this stuff down that has to do with Dave, because he was wrong about fucking everything. And here's the biggest thing and I'm going to dive into this, but everybody's like, The Rock's full of shit. He's such a liar. Oh, he was lying. He's lying. The Rock confirmed, and then literally a second later, The Rock confirmed what Dave Meltzer said about. So who's lying then? Was The Rock lying then or now? You inconsistent motherfuckers, right? So we're 13 minutes into the show. We're dropping F-bombs. We're going to get into this whole goddamn thing, okay? I'm here to tell you the fucking facts. The stuff that other people are just not gonna, they just can't stay consistent enough to fucking spit it like me. So Rabid Wolverines LC Killer 17 for 2 says The Rock is down with the sickness. Get up, come on, get down. Yeah, we're going to talk about that, And he really did fuck fans, though. Pause. He really did fuck fans this year at Mania. If we're believing or not believing The Rock either way. He just didn't give a fuck, and it's what Hughesy's been saying. Now, sometimes Hughes will come and say a lot of allegedlys, but with things like that, man, he's a movie guy,
Allegedly.
And so he was like, listen, dude, Hollywood's accepting him back, and he ain't going to fuck that up again. And he's got Scorsese films, this Smashing Machine movie. People are saying he might win awards for this thing or whatever. Who knows? Yeah, so it's just The Rock is done. I think he's done doing like I'm in my Marvel whatever era. He's going to be in his like I'm going to do Tarantino and Scorsese, and he's going to start doing like real, try and get taken seriously like Batista a little bit, I think that's The Rock's next move if I had to guess. But yeah, we'll figure it all out. And you miss Husey? Yeah, we'll get him back on. Don't worry. That's my guy. I talk to him fucking every day. Literally. We're dating now, actually. I told my wife. She's cool with it. It's long distance, so it's not like it's real or anything. No.
Allegedly.
But yeah. He was saying it. He's like, we won't get The Rock wrestling ever again. I'm like, he's doing this one. I'm like, don't fuck around, man. He's doing this one. This will be the last one here, 41. Nah, man. He's done. I think he's done. So it is what it is. And he's talked a bunch of bullshit, but we'll get into that in a little while. I want to check in with chat. I'm drinking a slushie. You guys like slushies or what? See if I can get a brain freeze or something. Okay. Yancey Wrestling needs to get back to finishers being the end of the match. Tapping out Gunther made no sense. Well, it did make a bit of sense because Gunther taps out quickly when he gets put in subs and shit like that, is what they've established. So he just saves himself and doesn't get tapped out. So it did make a bit of sense. My 12-year-old just saw the pic of Meltzer in the corner and asked if it was Hannibal Lecter. Maybe it is. Slushies are fire. The croc is cooking. Yeah, dude, the croc. Did we ever figure out what like little surprises gift he gave Cody in the ring last year? Oh, yeah. And we're going to announce, I'm going to do a random name picker of who won that gift card too. Okay. George Capture here, 37 early likes. Yeah, run the likes on the youtube.com. Yeah, I didn't chill anything. We just got right into talking. I guess that's why you guys love me so much, huh? YouTube.com/@ProWrestleTimes, YouTube.com/@ProWrestleClips, YouTube.com/@PhilMarksOut if you want to hear me talk about pop culture and movies and stuff like that. I'm coming off, today's my last like drinking sugary drink and eating pasta and shit day, you know what I mean? And then I'm going hard again. And yeah, I have some really cool shows lined up. I've been so fucking busy. It's not even funny. But yeah, that's about to we're locked in now. End of year, the beginning of year 3, if this is Batman, right? We finished year 1 and 2. But yeah, there's hockey and shit too going on. There's a lot going on to be locked into. Retire Jericho, hit the like. Yeah, if you guys run it up to 300 likes, we'll retire it. No. It would take something great to retire. Yeah, get in the Discord and Lincoln. We should fucking maybe do that. Who beat Phil? I'm going to check out right now, and I might just draw the fucking names while we get into light news. You guys know what I'm saying? I think you DM me, right? Oh, did you? He did the spins. So we have it right here. Lincoln did it. He told me, he explained how he did it. He told me exactly how he super randomized it. And the winner is, drum roll, please. Are you guys ready? So I want to make sure there's nothing like private. Drum roll, please. Are you all ready? Mike Saucelay, come on down. You beat Phil, WrestleMania Night 2. This is great. So, yeah, there you guys go. Mike Sauce, he did it. Lincoln did the draw. He spun it. He told me how he randomized it, and it's more than acceptable. He randomized the shit out of it and even spun a wheel. So it's as fair as it can be, and it's amazing. Mike Sauce, amazing. Round of applause for Mike Saucelay. Is on with your regularly scheduled programming. Mongo did not pass. He just went into hospice. Prayers for Mongo. Let's all keep our good energies and Mongo in mind tonight as we laugh about some stuff, and hopefully, hopefully he can pull through. So, yes, what do we have? It's also Ren's Day. It's also Rusev Day, guys. Oh my God. It's never ending. But that's a good thing. So we will get into miscellaneous news here. Light news to start things off. We actually do have quite a bit in here because it's been piling up since the beginning of, WrestleMania weekend, as it were. So let's play a banjo. Congrats, Mike Saucelys, and let's get into miscellaneous. Some light news, ladies and gentlemen, some light news. So, lost in the news, but Tetsuya Naito departing New Japan Pro Wrestling. Lost in the news of Naito departing Nuge. The company will also lose another reliable wrestler in Bushi. Since he arrived in 2015, Bushi is ranked first in most New Japan total matches by year 4 times and has never fallen lower than 7th. So, I mean, yeah, a bunch of years in a row, including the last 1, 2, 3. He has had the first most matches in New Japan, and he's leaving as well. So people are jumping off a ship. This is all that's telling me. So in the Nitro book here, I believe from Guy Evans, he posted a picture. An old box of WCW company records reveals this unused logo design considered for the 99 rebrand. Are you guys fucking with that logo or nah? I mean, I didn't hate on when I was young, like when they changed it to the fucking silver, like WCW, I guess it said WCW. People said it looked like a Vag or something. I totally can't even remember what people compare it to. But that logo, I never realized it even said WCW. Like, I didn't understand what they were going for with that. I just thought it was like a cool squiggly line logo thing. I didn't quite understand what it was till I was older. This one is kind of, I don't know. I don't like it that much. I got to be perfectly honest. So I'm glad they didn't go with that. Honestly, the one that WWF used for WCW, like the red, like during the invasion, that logo was actually pretty sick. If you compare them, like the OG WCW and then that one that WWE made for them was good. The other two were fucking pretty trash. But I digress. So I'm definitely going to check out that book, though. Cedric Alexander is making, I believe, his first appearance at Ase Wrestling. I think this is his first appearance since being released. So speaking of appearances, man, the Iconics, the Inspiration, who I hope to God they come back to WWE. I've always wanted them there. I thought when they left WWE and won the TNA Knockouts titles, that was the gangsterest shit ever. And they belong in WWE. And I'm glad if they do stuff like this and are happy doing it, I'm glad. They probably got a bag. Their gear's great. They both look great. They didn't really lose a step. Not that they're known for like their crazy wrestling abilities as far as physicality, but they're back.
Again, they have it.
And they do the Inspiration. But I would love to see them come back as the Iconics in WWE. That would be, and like the women's tag division needs it. People are boo-booing about the Bellas. Well, listen, the Bellas versus the Iconics in the women's tag division. Like, that's the sort of shit that back in the day when the women's tag belts were first introduced, it was sort of like, damn, that would have been, the Bellas just missed that, huh? The Iconics and the Bellas, that's like a generational thing. So I don't know. I mark out for shit like that, and maybe it could happen.
Tag team fluidity again. They have it, and Ray and Matthews don't. They're certainly not double Iconic. Tag team fluidity.
Imagine the pop they'd get if they hit that shit at like the Rumble or something. Okay, moving along. So here is Samantha Irvin. I guess she's like a guest ref and a commentator for this match, or like doing ring announcing for this other wrestling match. So I don't know, she didn't want to be a ring announcer, but she's like announcing or singing or something at a wrestling show. More footage of the Iconics at Prestige Wrestling. Shout out Prestige Wrestling, by the way. But yeah, they deserve it. Cassie Lee and Jessica McKay. What were their names again in WWE? Cassie Lee and Jessica McKay. What were their real names? I totally forget. Or no, those are their real names. What were their gimmick names in WWE is what I meant to say. Does anyone remember? Someone will throw it in there in the chat. But anyways, let's watch.
All right. Stepping foot into an American independent wrestling ring for the first time ever. Las Vegas feeling awfully inspired here tonight.
And they wrestled Kylie Ray. Was one of the gals they wrestled there. Okay, so Fuego del Sol has been unmasked and left his boots in the ring. Right? And he attacked, I think, Atticus Kogar and got him knocked out of the WWE ID tournament. So I'm trying to keep up with all that stuff. But yeah, there's your boy Fuego del Sol unmasked. And hangs him up, I guess. Natty Neihart versus Miyu Yamashita. Here's some highlights from that shit. This might just be some of the match.
As you said it so many years in the different animals. Yeah. Nothing she hasn't seen in the gym.
Shout out Josh Barnett and Bloodsport and GCW.
And the speed of the transition
are perfect for Natty, as you mentioned, but the same could be said of the kicks, the striking of Yamashita. Look at that. Even though she missed.
Right into the double leg. Here's a little ground and pound comes in. We call it time. White belt legs.
Guard here.
Nice transition.
Natty's just laying shit
Natty's
in.
well versed in submissions. As you can see,
stepping over to the knee bar.
From on bottom there. And I've noticed a trap that sent Natty reeling.
A lot of fans tonight backing these Japanese competitors. Oh! Natty taking some knees from this position. She can slow her down. Yamashita certainly has the advantage here. Good job rolling out. Speaking of transitions.
Yeah, the more movement Natty can create.
Yeah, Natty's so good in this style. Like, it's just so natural for her to fucking...
Oh, Yamashita's not having it. She said,
she's Natty's doing the Moxley spot. The Moxley spot.
Beautiful guard pull to the sweep into side control. Powering her way.
Yeah, I don't know. There's some good shit in this match. Ankle lock.
The finish, it doesn't look like.
Adding. Oh, my. Oh, ring post. So used to saying turnbuckle, but no turnbuckle there.
Natty like uses the ring post, does a WWE finish, rolls into the fucking sharpshooter.
Now thinking sharpshooter. She has it, stepping over. This could be it.
She's got it deep.
She's out, making her family proud.
Yeah, I don't know. Natty showed out. I'm excited to see her in the Crockett Cup whenever that goes down. So here's Sabu wrestling Joey Janela at Spring Break 9 for his final ever match. So remember when Sabu showed up in AEW and it was like, bro, you know, this guy is not looking 100%. He like flew through that table, botched jumping off the rope. So Joey's like, I'll barbed wire death match him. And then Drain Bamager's like, oh my God, look at the bumps he's taking. And yeah, he just took insane, like he just did insane shit in this match.
Sabu, no! Off the chair! No! Into the barbed wire he goes!
Into it.
Oh, no!
Y'all, look at that. He went back first, slid out, landed on the back of his head on the concrete on the outside of the ring in Minecraft.
Goes into it.
Oh, no!
Versus
Stop!
the floor. Goes Sabu.
No,
He looked like he got KO'd. Watch that again.
no!
Off the chair.
Oh!
Into the barbed wire he goes. Into it.
Oh, no!
Versus
Stop!
the floor.
The homicidal, genocidal, self-deletion aisle YouTube. And if you're over on X, come join on YouTube. So here's Brody Lee Jr., who won the GCW clusterfuck match. And I'm not kidding. Brody Lee Jr. won it. And he was in there with the last two people, Joey Janela and Megan Bain. Janelasis, as they call themselves. And yes, Joey Janela dyed his hair pink here. And let's watch the finish to this thing. Megan Bain gets tossed out by Brody Lee Jr. And then Joey Janela, goes flying over the rope. Super phonily. But they gave this kid a moment, I guess. I don't know.
Now we know Brody has all the heart in the world, but he is severely outnumbered here.
Come on.
Janela grabbing hold of Brody Lee Jr. And Megan holding him in position.
Guys,
oh, no.
come on.
Do not.
Guys,
no,
come on.
No, no. Joey, come on. Oh,
And the chair connects with Megan Bain.
Sabuing his own partner.
Brody Lee Jr. Over the top to the floor goes.
You guys like that? How he shoved him? And then Janela shoves her over the top. You guys like that?
Megan Bain.
Now we know Brody.
And then, Brody hits a stone cold stunner on Janela, and then he goes flying over the top rope. And then he just runs backwards and flies over the top rope. We covered that. So, a lot of people ask about Satomura's final match. Meiko Satomura, right? The original final boss, and it's been announced. So she's going to be in the ring with Aja Kong and Chihiro Ashimoto taking on Meiko Satomura and Minami. So there you go. I guess Aja Kong is going to be in the match as well. So shout her out. Phenomenal career. I thought it would take place in WWE, but I don't know. New Japan Resurgence goes down Friday, May 9th in the Toyota Arena in Ontario, California, not Canada, folks. And the people, we have the Young Bucks here, Takeshita, Gabe Kidd, Mercedes Monet, we have LP, we got Zack Sabre Jr., we got Ishii, and I think we have, if my eyes don't deceive me, is that Mina? Maybe it's not, and someone's going to get mad at me, but yeah, so lots of AEW folks on there. So who knows if New Japan and AEW are splitting apart. Here's the thing. I don't think they're splitting apart. I don't think WWE is even going to buy New Japan. And if I'm wrong about that, cool. I just think they're eyeing up the possibility of New Japan going, we're going to distance ourselves from, or not even distance, just we're going to work with all American companies. And then if that means WWE goes, okay, you can't book Takeshita on this fucking show. Okay, then that might happen down the line. I don't know what comes of that, but yes, could The Rock just go and buy New Japan himself? Yeah, for sure, dude. He can own football leagues. The guy's super rich. Could TKO buy it? Sure. I'm not doubting that for a second, but I could also see it just being where New Japan's like, well, we'll just work with you guys. Like, we have these American shows, you guys are cool with TNA. Yeah, we'll work with TNA guys. It's just that simple. Are you guys cool if AEW guys are on the card? And then that's where it might become an issue. So we'll see. We'll see with all that. But so far, I think they have some sort of contracted partnership too, which could be a part of this with AEW. So, but yeah, that show hopefully does well. I think they sold like 4K tickets for it. or maybe I'm off on that, but hopefully a bit of a bounce back for New Japan in America. B. Priestley, we actually have her quote on this. So she did talk about being released from WWE, and here it is. Blair Davenport, aka B. Priestley, briefly spoke about her release from WWE, and she praises Lyra, Cora, Roxanne, Tiffany, and Julia. She's not mad about it, and I'm curious if we do ever see her in AEW again. I know, didn't she used to like date Will Ospreay, or isn't she best friends with Will Ospreay or something? I can't remember. There's some relationship there, though.
Because I was part of a big release. I think it was just budget cuts to really make up their contracts. So I don't have any negative feelings or anything like that. It's just the job, isn't it? It's the business. So it's just the way it goes, really. But
smart, because she can go get hot on the indies and come back in 4 years, and in 3 years come back, boom. Just be smart, or go get Tony Khan's money now. Go get a big old bag and work it into your deal that he can't remove your merch, and work it into your deal that if he freezes you, you can opt out. Everything's negotiable, folks.
But I'm excited for what's coming in the future. I'm excited to kind of get back to my roots a bit.
You just go, all you got to do is go to AEW and just negotiate it. Like, if you fucking freeze me, like if you don't use me at least once in 2 months, I have the option to fucking leave with a 90-day no compete or some shit. You just make it favorable to them in a way where Tony will go, oh, okay. Who's this person in the background who just walked in through the door, though?
And
I wonder.
do my own thing again, because I did love doing stuff in Japan. I love doing stuff all over the UK, and obviously I'm excited to actually do the indies in America, because I've never actually really done the indies here at all. So yes, I'm excited for the future. Oh, don't be upset for me. It was fine. It's fine. It's just this job, isn't it? It's the way it goes, But I'm really happy for all of my friends who are still there. Obviously, Lyra.
She'd crush in TNA as well. I don't know if she's been there, but she would crush. Like, that would be, Tessa needs challengers too. I'd be looking at something like that. But of course, you might be looking at it like, well, TNA might sell to WWE, or, TNA is working with WWE. So I don't know if I want to be, that puts me sort of back in their system. And she's even saying, I'm excited to work the American Indies. Yeah, go do that. Work the indie circuit, try and get super over, try and get Tony Khan's money. Just don't let them fuck you, just be 4 steps ahead with what these other wrestlers have gone through.
She's one of my best friends, just had a massive WrestleMania moment, and she's only been in the company or on main roster as I was. So that's huge for her. Same with Tiffany. Really happy for Tiffany that she's getting a big spotlight. And then I'm excited for people like Roxanne, Cora, all those up and coming girls who are very obviously going to get called up any day now. So, and Julia, of course. Julia's my drinking buddy. So I'm
Julia's her drinking buddy. There you go. Julia's fucking awesome.
Yeah, I'm very excited to also see how well my friends do, and Piper as well. Piper was my road trip buddy. So Piper,
Billy Piper.
Piper, not Billy Piper. But yes, so I'm excited for the future.
Billy Piper, who's that? Isn't she like an actress or something like that?
Sure, you guys will definitely still see me wrestling somewhere or other. So yes, don't worry. I'm not going to disappear forever.
Good. I'm really glad that she's just like chin up and fucking get it done. Keep rolling. Okay, so Ric Flair was at the Lakers game, his first public appearance after John Cena dethroned him as the GOAT of 17 world titles.
Reggie doing the same thing. The nature boy Ric Flair. One of my favorite people in the world. Ernie, I'm not even worried about the, there we go. There we go. Bobby the Brain Heenan and Mean Gene. Yeah. Shout out to John Cena, who broke the record with Ric Flair winning at WrestleMania the other night. Woohoo!
And they shout out Cena. Okay, that was miscellaneous news. Chat, let me check in, which is Dashing Purpool has been a member for 6 months. Thank you for that. That is awesome. Guys, memberships are 99 cents. You can super chat in, check out Patreon, hit like, hit dislike, leave a comment, all that good stuff. Thank you so much. 16 times a loser. Chin up, tits out. Yeah, Flair has been pushing 80. Has to be pushing 80 at this point. Billie Piper is an actress. Yeah, that's what I thought. Think of it like this. They had nothing creative for her, released her. She can go where she wants. I bet money they will be calling her back when they start NXT UK. Yeah, I don't think they're going to ever start like NXT UK. Like people talking about AAA is going to get rebranded to fucking NXT Mexico. No, it's not. Like they wouldn't just buy that brand to fucking to do that. But or maybe there'll be an NXT Mexico, but it's not going to there'll be a feeder system for AAA, you know, that'll be like a PC for people there, you know, it's not like they're going to come in and just change what AAA is doing. Brady Mac for 5 says, had a blast spending my first WrestleMania with PWT fam on night 2. Excellent show, dude. Thank you so much. It was absolutely goated. Yeah, we were crushing. Our numbers were ridiculous for what I was pulling in both nights and just the lead up, man. And so I appreciate you all for being here. It was just such a fun time. This last WrestleMania, it truly, truly was. I had such a blast. And, just seeing people after the way they were acting after in the IWC, I just couldn't have been more disappointed. Like, I don't know. I just don't know what people expected from the ending of Mania. And then just being like, oh, Travis Scott, it made no sense. It's like, no, it makes less sense if he just never shows up again and beat up fucking Cody Rhodes the one time, then he just never gets the receipt. That makes less sense. Like John Cena is friends with rappers and shit. I don't get what people don't understand. It's just The Rock and Cena and Travis Scott and shit. Guess what? They get invited to these same ultra elite Hollywood parties and shit, guys. Like that's all it is. They know rappers. Cena's made rap albums. Travis Scott's one of the biggest rappers in the world. It's all the fucking connection is. It doesn't need to be more than that. Okay. So it's just, but I'm also not defending the shit like with what The Rock said. If we believe it, then we'll talk about it in a bit, but it means it was even shittilier plan than we thought. It means the plan was just that. It wasn't even like a last minute. The Rock's like, I can't do it. It's like they knew for months he wasn't even going to be there. So it's like, they really fucked us, but yeah. Either way. What's chat saying? For 5 says, just here to say I'm a Phil and George mark. Oh, thank you. Oh, thank you. Thank you very much.
Are you sure about that?
I'm sure George likes that. I got a bit of a brain freeze, guys. It happened. And thank you. I'm a buff guy. That's who I am. Okay. So, R.I.P. Mongo. So, is it really Billy Kay and Peyton Royce? Thank you. All of these rappers. Cuervo. So, Mongo, did he really pass away? Because if that's the case, then I'm tremendously sad. So, let's play another banjo for TNA news. Really, we should be playing Joe Hendry's fucking theme. But, Victoria Crawford, Debbie Gibson, and Tim Malcolm are in the house for TNA Unbreakable. They had some celebs in the
crowd. It was giving me some flashbacks there for a moment. Joining us here, Victoria Crawford, a legend in women's wrestling.
So, Foxy, Alicia Fox, right? She's in the crowd. Moving along, Sydney Akeem. Okay, so Reggie, and this is a while ago. Okay, this is a while ago, but we're still talking about it. He accepted Moose's open challenge. So Reggie, Sydney Akeem showed up here in TNA, which is dope.
And his opponent from St. Louis, Missouri, weighing in at 185 pounds, Sydney Akeem.
Moose asked for a high flyer. To be fair, it don't get much more high flying than Sydney Akeem. Some of the things this man can do are pretty much.
So, yeah, that's dope. He's been ripping it up on the indies. Okay, so during a mixed tag team main event at TNA Unbreakable, the fans started with chants of "Fuck you, Tessa," which went to "She's a racialist" and "Racialist" as the match went on. So she ain't gonna live that down, and I know WWE are hoping that shit does die down so they can bring her in. You know what I mean? They're eyeballing it, and they want that stuff to die down, and they want her to prove she can like be backstage and not piss people off and stuff, and then they want to bring her in. TNA Unbreakable ends though with Matt Hardy inviting Nick and Ryan Nemeth to the Hardy compound.
I would proceed with caution if I were you. All right.
I am glad you are having a terrible evening, you treasonous Nemeth brothers. I would like to invite you to a place that may end up being your final destination, the Hardy compound, where you will suffer deletion.
Yeah, those have been played out for a while, you know, and Ryan Nemeth just, people aren't going to get behind that dude again. Introducing, so here's the brand new TNA International Championship. And again, TNA just banging it with another great looking title. As they do, just fucking banging it spot on. So El Hijo del Vikingo will be on April 27th here. So in a few days, he'll be there at Rebellion for Ultimate X. And there you go. Get some reps in TNA. He's wrestled there before, but yeah, he'll be in WWE in some capacity in their AAA stuff, whatever. John Cena praises Joe Hendry. So we got a lot of Joe Hendry stuff. John Cena praises Joe Hendry, talking about meeting him at the Rumble. We had Hendry, of course, in the Rumble, taking on Randy one-on-one at Mania. And a lot of fucking morons are saying that he got squashed and all this. Well, I mean, maybe it's a bit of a squash, but people just saying like he was buried or he can't come back from this or this was a bad look. It's like,
Dummy, yeah.
It's so stupid, man. TNA is sort of accepting this role of like, we are NXT adjacent. We're like as good or just below or maybe just barely above NXT. That's what TNA is like establishing themselves at. So, yeah, man, I don't know what to tell anybody. If someone showed up from NXT to challenge Orton, I'd expect him to beat them in 4 minutes too, right? It's not the end of his career. He's been seen being eliminated from the Rumble by Roman, and he was RKO'd and beat by Randy Orton on last minute's notice, and it was also last minute for Hendry as well. If you think about it, if we're talking kayfabe. So he's never competed with anyone the caliber of Randy Orton, and that's all. He's one of the GOATs. Randy is. So I don't know. It made sense, and they gave him like a viral moment, like the moment for Mania, as far as like, that's the one I'll never fucking forget. And he did the company a solid, and he shows that he's a team player, and he will be rewarded for that shit in the long run. Much like Karrion Kross is being rewarded, it seems, right? Coming into this new year, like WWE year, Mania to Mania. And yeah, I think Joe Hendry, all he did was put the TNA title on the map, and nobody this is what is called leaning into perception and rolling with the punches, right? So AEW, for instance, not to make it about them, but we can make the comparison to TNA then. TNA was always trying to be WWE and we're going to compete and we're da-da-da-da-da. They even went head to head and they just became WWE light and people shit on it and they had to go reinvent themselves and then reintroduce their history, but like in a way that, you know, they had to really fucking do work there. And now look at them, right? Whereas AEW, you know, they don't want to accept like, no, you're the number 2 fed. Well, I mean, we're the challenger brand. Like they'll say it now, but let's be honest. The sickos won't accept it because for years, that's what, and, you know, Meltzer won't really accept it. And Tony Khan for years and everybody, well, a bunch of people were like, you know, they're going to take over WWE and right? And they're running laps when they fucking beat Nitro and stuff. So it's just cringe. And so they got to get away from that. TNA had to get away from that shit, okay? And really rebrand themselves to get it back to where it's at. And so in doing that, they are working with WWE. So fans didn't think, like, fans would be more pissed if Hendry took Orton to the limit, bro. And then Meltzer's like, no other company's world champ. Right. It's like a different level of world champ. Like I always say, TNA's the Canada company. Like they do lots of shows in the States. They do lots in Canada, but they're owned by Canadians and shit. I'm fairly certain still, right? They are owned and primarily operated, at least at the highest levels, by people based out of Canada, dude. So again, it's like ECW would never let their world champion lose to, what about when Taz beat Mike Awesome or whatever? You know, like he was a WCW guy. I get it. ECW was working with WWE a lot. And so they had Taz beat Awesome real quick or whatever. Like I don't know, Dave, we'll talk about it later, but he's like, name a time in history when a company's world champion. It's like, bro, it's TNA. Like they're not in this delusion that they should be beating Orton at Mania or whatever. It's just such a Mark Fantasy shit. Everybody wants the Mark Fantasy shit, you know, instead of just fucking being realistic about stuff. So stupid. Here we go, though. And then, yeah, the AAA talent that's going to float between both. And then, I don't know, man. They're just growing and growing. And again, everybody wants the AEW monopoly, but nobody wants WWE monopolizing, or it's not even monopolizing. It's just expanding globally, right? You each get a Fed in each country. Go at it. Let's see who does better, you know? I'd want to be the Japanese Fed for WWE. I would. I'm so sorry. I know some people don't get it. Like, because we want fucking, we want New Japan history and all that to be on the biggest platform it can be, and you know, the people to get trained the best and have long careers and stuff like that. I don't know. Anyways, though, John Cena praises Joe Hendry, which if people think, again, he's getting buried, or is he getting super over and more eyeballs are on TNA now?
You guys talked about Dom, Randy, Logan. I'm still pissed off. It seems like I'm the only guy up here that believes in Joe Hendry. But besides that,
no, you're not. No, I thought so. Joe's awesome, and I got the chance to meet Joe at the Rumble face to face, and he had a small moment in the Rumble. And he's like, hey, you're good at this. How do I make this more? And I gave him some advice, like, you don't. You go out there and you be yourself and you make your moment your moment. When you try to make your moment more than is given, that's selfish.
That's super good advice.
And you're a small piece of a greater show. And I thought he did excellent at the Rumble. And last night, I thought he was brilliant. What I got to do is if I don't know that kid, I got to know him. He got to do his stuff. He got to be in a WrestleMania match with Randy Orton.
Hell yeah.
And he got a fantastic moment and giving Randy his 20th WrestleMania. But we got an introduction on.
See, everyone's crying. He gave Randy his 20th Mania. We don't think about that. He would have had no match or whatever the fuck. So the other thing, this makes me believe what Joe Hendry said, that he's going to end up facing John Cena, like before Cena retires at some point. Because, like, I don't know. He hit Rumble, Mania. His deal's up in 26. He'll be in WWE. You don't think he just put Cena over one time? I don't know, man. He just did it for Orton. He is the TNA champ. I just don't see them. Like, John Cena's not going to fight him in TNA or something, right? Especially with the whole gimmick. I have 27 appearances left, right? But Hendry losing to Cena on like a SmackDown or some shit, I could totally see that.
On a large level to Joe Hendry. Just because I didn't bring his name up doesn't mean I'm sour on the kid.
No.
I think he's gonna.
Or like it ends in DQ or something, but he wrestles Cena, you know. But it ends in some bullshit of like whoever on SmackDown's trying to get to Cena or whatever.
think he's going to be a major player. Because
I hope not.
he loves it. He loves it, and he gets it right.
He hates
But hey, but speaking of
the cool thing is, I like him. I don't. There's the chemistry.
Yes.
So I'm.
So you Cena again dropping bars. He just goes, see again. He points to two different people. You like him, you don't. That's how you make money right there.
He's got a great mind.
But
yeah, I'm so down, man. I can't wait till Hendry's like taking over SmackDown and shit. He'll be like a GM one day. AJ Styles shares that TNA did want him in their Hall of Fame, but Styles felt that it was a little disrespectful to WWE at the time. There you go, man. Styles wants to be in the Hall of Fame after he's retired. Definitely. So he'll go do them both, but yeah, when he's retired, then start asking him to be in Hall of Fames, not while he's wrestling currently. So here's Joe Hendry on Busted Open Radio again, just dropping bars about what this experience was, and he gets it. And he responds to people saying he was diminished or squashed or buried or whatever.
Do you know what CM Punk told me? We had a great conversation afterwards, and CM Punk told me that was exactly how it should have gone. And if it had gone longer, I think it would have worked out worse for me. There is no shame in taking the RKO and losing to a legend like Randy Orton.
You have different tone, different inflection. Last night did something to you, didn't it?
100%.
What did it do to you?
When John Cena won the championship, I was walking through back to the little room that I had, and John Cena, the camera crew's filming him. He's just won the championship, and he comes over to me, and we had a conversation very similar to what he said on Pat McAfee. And he was like, you did exactly what I told you to do at the Rumble, and you were great tonight, and you're going to be a major player.
Convinced.
Boom.
The four of us.
And he was on NXT, by the way, which is dope. But when he's signed to WWE, like, you're signed with us, no NXT. He'll just be on Raw or SmackDown, straight from TNA.
Us why the second RKO was a good thing.
If you remember when Matt Riddle was tag team partners with Randy Orton, he was welcomed to the club. It was like, hey, you're here.
Now listen to Hendry not only break down psychologically, but also in kayfabe, why these sickos and these sons of bitches, he got squashed and buried. They're fucking done.
Thank you, fuck you, bye, boom. Stupid idiot.
Let's listen to Hendry break down in kayfabe and in reality what that RKO signified.
And you were great tonight, and you're going to be a major player.
Convince the four of us why the second RKO was a good thing.
If you remember when Matt Riddle was tag team partners with Randy Orton, he was welcomed to the club. It was like, hey, you're here. That was like an initiation. It was like he took a lot of those secondary RKOs and he got the pat, and it's like, you're here. You're part of the team. And also, what did he do after the RKO? He did my spin and then did his pose. And
he did give you the pat on the chest.
Yes. And as John Cena said this morning, he says, we got an introduction to Joe Hendry last night. And Randy doing that reinforces the things that I do.
Yeah. Imitation is the sincerest form of flattery, And that's why Randy did that. It was putting his shit over. Now, if Randy did the spin and then did like a like a jerk off sign and splooged on Hendry, or you know what I mean? Like if he was like, yeah, and then suck it, you clown, or like spun around and held up an OVW sign or wiped his ass with a TNA shirt. Yeah, that would be right. You get super kicked into a box that says to OVW. Like, yeah, that's burying you, bro. But he put Hendry shit over by making it his own. So tremendous mind, man. TNA talent not concerned by Joe Hendry. So they asked people in TNA, are you concerned, right? TNA talent are not concerned by Joe Hendry losing in 3 minutes to Randy Orton at Mania 41 because they're not a bunch of marks. Joe Hendry posts this. Look, I got my debut WWE trading card with Randy Orton. They made the RKO into a fucking say his name and he appears out of nowhere. It's on 422. So that shit makes it collectible all on its own, okay? they made this iconic moment, dude, into a Tops Now card. And it says TNA World Champion, like on a WrestleMania Tops WWE card, guys. Do you understand, man? Oh, God, I'm so happy for this guy. And it says Joe Hendry, Randy Orton. Like, says Hendry's name first. And it goes, TNA World Champion Joe Hendry sent the WWE Universe into a frenzy as he answered Randy Orton's open challenge at WrestleMania 41. Holding his own against the Viper, Hendry hit a signature spin around before catching an RKO out of nowhere. Emerging victorious at his 20th WrestleMania match, Orton raised Hendry's arm in respect before delivering one final RKO. God, that's gotta feel good, bro. That's gotta feel so good if you're Joe Hendry. They're like, dude, we made it into a Tops card. Oh my God. And it's Orton's 20th. Could be his fucking last. We don't know. 2. We don't know. How many's Orton got? 2, 3? We were talking the other. Well, is he healthy for all of them? Look at KO. He just fell off. Punk came back from AEW. What happened? Miss Mania. You don't know. Orton, that could have been 20, and that's it for me. We really fucking don't know, man. So, goddamn, that's just so awesome to see. And if you're a TNA mark who, I'm talking like I've always kept my fingers on the pulse, like even when it was EC3 and, you know, when people shat on it at its worst, you know, when it was on the Pop channel and stuff, I was still at least staying locked in as much as I could. And it's just so good to see that they're just taken seriously now. And then all this time later, it's like, you know, we're getting Abyss in the video games and Joe Hendry showing up as the world champ at Mania and being put on the back of Tops cards because card pulling is super popular again. And, you know, Jordan Grace crossed over. Now she's signed and we're getting like MSK and the Rascals crossing over and everything. I don't know. It's just what a time to be alive. And it's cool that they share libraries and stuff like that. I'm going to check in with chat, but to end TNA news here, Hendry returns to the Ariel Helwani show, and he talks about when he found out that he would be at WrestleMania. Gives us the lowdown.
Can I ask, when did this first get on your radar? When did the possibility of this, you at WrestleMania, first come across your desk?
So I've actually never answered this question. I've evaded this question every time someone has asked it. But Ariel, because it's you, yes, I will answer it.
Thank you, my friend.
I found out about a week before. I had to sit on this for a week.
Wow. Tell me, what's that call like? Where are you? What, like, can you paint the picture for us? I can't imagine what's going on in your mind when you get this call.
So I was in the airport and I got a text from Triple H saying, can you talk? And I was at WWE World. I was scheduled to be there to be signing things. I thought, it might be something to the effect of, they've got the Slammies, or it might be like, doing a promo at WWE World. So I'm kind of expecting that's what the call is going to be. And Triple H says, listen, I'm sure you're aware that Randy needs an opponent. And yeah, that threw me off completely. Wow. I was in a state of shock, but I just, I knew there was a job to be done. I knew in my mind, but when I approach these things, I just thought I want to bring as much value as possible. And I want this to be the best moment that we can possibly make it. And I'm so proud of what we did out there. That shot of the spin around into the RKO, it's now been made into a trading card. I think it was a really fun moment for the fans. Walk into the ring in front of 60,000 people. It was a huge moment for me. And what an honor to share the ring with Randy Orton. Ariel, I just wrestled Randy Orton at WrestleMania. What is good?
Yeah, dude, I just wrestled Mania or Orton at Mania. Sorry, I'm also watching Dynamite.
It's incredible. And I loved your tweet right after saying that exact same thing. Can I ask, and we'll get to the match in a moment, who's the first call when you hang up with Triple H?
You can't tell anybody. I had to sit.
You can't even tell your brother? You can't tell your someone, like, I don't know, a best friend?
I had to sit on this for a week. Wow. As far as I know, on our side of things, there were I believe 2 people that had to know business-wise.
Man. Round of applause for Joe Hendry and Miscellaneous News. Master P's making everybody say along with Samoa Joe. We're gonna lock in for that. Let's check that out for That was miscellaneous news. Jonesy84 has been a member for 10 months. Thank you so much. She says, same people being critical about Joe think it's great. Sasha Bankrupt out here taking everyone's belts for no reason other than she can yeet one, so I don't care. Hey, you get a yeet from me for that. Yeah. We'll yeet to that for sure. And thank you for your membership. So Masterpiece putting over New Orleans, and the ops are out here. Samoa Joe's going off. And now who's coming out? Oh, of course. It's the Death Goobers. It's the Death Goobers. We got to lock in for Joe and Master P, man. We got to give our respects here. We got news. We're going to do AEW news next year. Oh, Glomdeem. Or maybe we'll do Sickos. Chat can let me know. Maybe we'll do Sickos, then Newses, and then we can do Dave. So if they're gonna give me Mox and Joe, I'm here for it, Eric. If they're gonna give me Mox and Joe, if Joe had to go win the trios titles with his gang of whatever, his random fucking team, Hook and Shibata and shit, if that's what he had to do to get to Mox and get that world title off him, let's fucking do it, Tony Khan. Let's fucking do it. There's over 200 of you on the Pro Wrestle Clips channel. Oh, yes. Samoa Joe choking out Mox while Masterpiece throwing punches at him. Let's fucking go. How many likes are we at here? 84. Guys. Go to the Clips channel, hit the like, or else Jericho's going to do a run-in, okay? We're getting to 100. It's about to be. You know what? Put him to sleep. Put him to sleep. Oh, the fucking Bucks, dude, and Okada. Fucking Bucks, man. Now it's just too much shit, man. They just did 7. They're just doing too much. Yeah, I don't know. It's just too much at once. Now the Swerve comes out, everyone runs, the Bucks and Okada are out. And then now Kenny Omega's music hits. Like, are we having a Royal Rumble, or like, this is so much stuff to just... George, check the likes for 2. Yeah, buddy, I'm checking them. I'm on you, buddy. Don't worry. Kenny comes out. They just like put 7 hats on. See, guys, I really try. I was really into that segment. And then when Joe's choking Mox and then Masterpiece throwing punches, I'm like, this stuff's awesome. Bucks come out. It's like, but like, okay, they got to get heat on them. Then Swerve, then Omega. It's like, okay, are we having a 15-man tag? Like, did like 7 fucking things, man. Now they're all chanting Kenny when it was like Joe had to go out there and be physical to make it, to get heat this up and get everyone. So is this the new crew of people that are going to take them out? So now it's the elite riders with this new group of AEW guys, because Edge and FTR are just like, oh, we're going to beef with each other. And we're no longer fighting this fight. And Darby's like, yeah, I'm going to go climb a mountain while you guys handle this.
I will say this, John Moxley, you wanted me, now you have me. I'm going to beat your ass, choke you out, and ladies and gentlemen, I'll be taking back my AEW shoes. Will we be seeing a second ring for Samoa Joe, AEW World Championship? Most certainly confident. But Dennis, I spotted you, and I know you did too. Did you see the slide look at first face when Joe made that proclamation? You're right, I definitely saw that look for sure.
I don't know about all that, guys. So sorry, I'm just sitting here quietly. I'm just listening to Joe. He's gonna get his world title back. Okay, let's get into news. You guys want some sickos melting down about WrestleMania and shit? Here we go. So Nick Wayne is the Ring of Honor TV champ, I guess, and Christian's interrupting him and being like, actually, this should be my belt.
If it wasn't for your father's patriarch, you wouldn't be standing here as the Ring of Honor television champion. Because I'm the one that forced you this past month to step out of your shell, to find yourself, to spread your wings.
Yeah, so Christian just taking this TV title.
We all celebrated. In fact, your mother and I celebrated your victory extensively later that night.
Oh, dude, talking shit about his mom again. But why didn't he care before? This is what I mean. There's no reason. Like, Christian treats everyone like shit. Nick Wayne is just, now he's fed up. It's like, why? How? What incident made him go, I'm fed up? He starts earning his own shit, and then now he's fed up? Like, I just don't understand. Like, maybe that's chill. Sabian, I still don't understand why he's there. They just got to make Christian and Edge feud or team up or whatever. Eventually. Here comes Ricochet. I don't know. I'm into it, though. If they just get through this Christian Nick Wayne thing, I'm down. If they just, like, have that match and end that whole thing. So they've been dragging it on so long. And again, if people say that's long-term storytelling, I mean, I guess, like, it's just sort of Christian uses and abuses people, but he's loyal to, like, you know, he's been loyal to all of his guys. It's just, he's been clear too. Like, I'm going to take this world title. It's our titles, and they align with him. And then they just all of a sudden go, I don't agree with his ways anymore. Why? There's got to be something that makes me go, oh, that's why he wouldn't agree. Oh, I banged your mom. It's like, well, haven't you been banging his mom this whole time? Isn't that the whole point? Isn't that the whole, you know? So I don't know. Maybe I'm off on that. I don't fucking know. This guy's talking shit to Ricochet in the crowd. Okay, let's go into during Ricochet's flip match. Let's get into a segment everybody loves that is called a Sicko segment. No, he doesn't even really do flip matches all the time. I mean, he does, but I mean, he does that lame running elbow now. So anyways, Sicko segment. So we've had some Sickos. This won't be too long of one, I don't think, but Elbu was talking about WWE, the PR week leading into Mania. And he's like, no, it's been a bad PR week between Nick Khan being a hypocrite, Hunter being extremely defensive at criticism, and John Cena giving unshamed praise for Vince McMahon. He didn't praise him. He just said he loved him. Hunter being extremely defensive with criticism. That's what you do. All these goofs do that. Tony does that. Nick Khan being a hypocrite. How is he a hypocrite? What did he say that was hypocritical? He said some shit about them being underdogs, which was like not realistic, but they're not benching people. Every wrestling company has to bench some people. Like, yes. And when he said that, we're not just going to bench people. It's like, okay, so Omos should be doing what? Just put him in there against Randy so that Randy can just beat him. So you'd prefer Omos just shows up and gets beat when he's like a giant, and the whole problem with him is that he's just greener than they'd like him to be. And he was really a Vince guy, but he's a super big giant that they do see value in, and they're willing to keep him around, obviously, this entire time. Right? So that's a guy where I don't know, man. Like, they sent him to Japan. They pulled him. People are mad that he vacated the belt. Well, was someone supposed to beat him in Japan? Why do you guys want Omos to get beat so bad? I thought you guys like Omos. I don't want Omos to ever get beat. I want him to be like an imposing giant who goes on like a crazy run. Maybe I thought he was going to back up AJ again when he went all emo. I thought Omos was going to show up again a while back. But anyways, Nick Khan is saying they don't bench people when there's plenty of talent benched. Okay, yeah, like who? Shayna and Zoe. Here's the thing. The fans aren't like, we need Shayna and Zoe. That's what we mean. The fans aren't like, we need Omos. Right? And if he's trying to take shots at AW, it's because the fans are like, we want Ricky. We want Wardlow, bro. We want Wardlow. Hey, we don't want all these CMLO guys. We want the Lucha Bros. That's what the AW fans say. So that, like, if he's trying to make it about them, then that's what he's alluding to. So the fact that, like, you lack such nuance, you can't fucking clearly just think that out. Elbu says a lot. But John should keep his Vince opinions to himself. He fucking was asked a question. You keep your shit opinions to yourself that no one gives a fuck about. People only listen to you because you stooge fake shit about fucking wrestlers in your Discord, bro. And then, yeah, Sean Ross Sapp melts down. I think we covered this over Mania, but he's just like, we talked about it. He's in a fucking suite eating cheese and crackers, tweeting this out. The criticism emerges from Nick Khan, John Cena, Triple H, Roman Reigns interviews, the five faces of the company who are largely insulting or insulated from answering or interacting directly with wrestling fans. And it's like, beyond political preferences, there have been shots at the fans themselves. It's like, man, shut the fuck up. Go tell them. You're feet away from them. Go tell them. So this guy goes, so the Triple H belts come out. We took a look at them the other day, and this guy's like, this is literally a Yahtzee belt. Where's the hate for Noseman, you WWE marks? So I have no idea. Then this person's like, literally. But I'm not even going to click on that. That's ridiculous. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what makes that a Yahtzee belt. It looks like Triple H's logos, bro. So here's a fan who came up to Ria Ripley with an adoption certificate, and she signed it. Now, I believe, if I'm not wrong, Moose Knuckle, this was you? Oh. But for real, what the fuck? Hopefully this doesn't, like, legally bind her to anything.
It's a first? Really? Okay. Hi. I have been waiting for this since last WrestleMania. It took me months to get this. Can you sign this to be my new mommy? Please. It's a first? Really? Okay. Oh my gosh. Yes! Oh my gosh. Oh, yes.
That's crazy. I hope her lawyers were present.
Can I get a hug? Thank you so much.
Holy shit.
Dad, you good?
You adopted, yeah. You got a brand new mom.
So is that legally her kid now? I don't get it. This guy, L.E. de la Reigns, goes, this is the kind of clowns you all listen to. He's not a reporter. He's a Mark fan just pushing agendas. IWC, the most gullible group of people to ever exist. Yeah, Elbow. He really feels this way and felt weird about getting the spot this year. Roman Reigns versus Punk was not the originally planned WrestleMania match. As I've said for 10 days straight, there's a lot of backstage political maneuvering taking place as top guys jockey for WrestleMania spots. CM Punk wants to main event the entire thing. Guys are getting into position. He wanted to main event night one, you fucking idiot, and then he lost. So, like, Jesus Christ, these people just talk so much shit. So this guy, Follow the Revolution, goes, how long it's been since I've been an AEW fan? 55,190 hours, 2,299 days, 328 weeks, 75 months, and 6 years. I'm with AEW. Fuck, man. And then they call people Fed freaks. It's like, name any WWE fans who are that fucking psychotically attached. Most of the ones in the IWC just love trolling. Like, I hope people understand. Heel Lucy just likes pissing people off. Like AEW fans, right? Like people like that, like Neckbeards, he just likes trolling. He doesn't give a fuck if AEW's around or not. You understand what I mean? Like, it makes no difference. He's going to probably troll people in another funny way, you know? Triple H's thoughts. So Miss Kate Fabe, tweeted this out about Triple H making the AAA announcement. If you're Hispanic, gather around behind me. And Triple H's thoughts is like, this was her take on the AAA announcement. She's that specific type of person that finds things that don't exist to feign outrage about. Maybe she can ask Lashley how he feels about this too. She asked Lashley that dumb shit. If you're Hispanic, gather around behind me. Yeah, they're launching a fucking Mexican promotion. They're announcing that they have bought a Mexican promotion in Mexico. They want to showcase their famous Mexican stars and say, look, you can expect to see them there too. Craziness. So Thirsty Thurston, right before Mania as well, he just goes off. He's like, WWE didn't acknowledge Black History Month in February, which was a departure from previous years. Was that an intentional decision to scale back on diversity and inclusion as the public has seen throughout government and other businesses? In your Hall of Fame speech, you acknowledge Vince McMahon's influence on your career without getting into any ongoing legal matter. How do you reconcile his mentorship with the serious allegations he faces? Thurston, that was the fucking Hall of Fame, you moron. It's not a time to bring all that shit up. This isn't a fucking court hearing, bro. You're a sick weirdo, okay? Thurston's like, with WWE's acquisition of AAA, does WWE see Lucha Libre as a unique wrestling style distinct from WWE's typical style? He said he wasn't going to change any Lucha style. He said he was going to let them do their thing. Did you watch the thing, Thurston? Or do you feel there are certain aspects of wrestling that Lucha Libre generally should conform to? He said he's not going to change anything. You should listen to the stuff before you talk about the stuff. Thurston says there are conflicting reports about the U.S. viewership of Raw on Netflix. No, there's not. Your bad fucking reporting is the conflicting stuff. Okay? The stuff that you deleted when Awful pointed out how you just proved that Netflix was not juicing their numbers up as much as they could be. You deleted that shit because what Awful said. Awful wrestling. Think about that for a second, okay? So you sold for a guy named AEW Awful Wrestling. Think about that. And excluding the premieres, viewership of Raw in the U.S. up, down, or about the same as it was. Thurston, go ask him the question. Go phone Netflix. Say, hey, I'm just reporting. I'm doing this thing about WWE viewership. I'm just looking to get some numbers. Just like start poking around. Like, why do you give a fuck? What are the max numbers? Why aren't you doing this whole thing before All In? He's not gonna. Right? It's crazy. Just right before Mania, he's like, here's this essay I've been saving up. Right? So in the AEW subreddit, you know, these people were melting down. Like this guy's like talking about WWE. They're fascist. They're literally talking about building an empire. Just a bunch of sad bootlickers. This guy's like, they're comparing it to Tony buying ROH and wondering why no one was mad about that, as if ROH was a functional company when he bought it. It literally was a functional company. They just, like, a bunch of businesses went out of business because of COVID, and they just jumped at the person who offered them the stupidest amount of money. Tony way overpaid for it, and he's done shit without it when WWE would have bought it, and Joe was trying to facilitate that as well. So people didn't care because ROH, no one cared about ROH. No one cares about ROH, really. They didn't before, and they're not going to now. That's why Tony's dumb for making ROH an integral part of AEW. None of you idiots understand this. WWE buying out competition, go figure. AAA's not competition to WWE unless they start doing shit in Mexico. And when they went to Mexico, whenever they tour there, they sell out great, and they're not competition. They're an extension, the same way that CMLL is working as an extension of AEW. You're a pussy. So this guy goes, just got to wait for the WWE fanboy to start telling us why this is such good news. I mean, it is for WWE. I don't really know. I'm indifferent. Like, I don't give a fuck. It's just such a big baller move. That's why I'm popping about it. I don't care if they buy AAA. I don't care if they buy New Japan, because WWE is the epicenter. It's the league where the best Japanese wrestlers, the best Americans, the best Canadians, the best luchas, they all meet up in WWE, and let's see who's the best. So I don't give a fuck if they buy it or not. I don't know, because people like to call me WWE fanboy all the time. And then they realize I'm not, and then they just shut the fuck up ultimately. Like this one dumbass on X the other day, he's like as I'm actively calling Rock a fucking idiot, he's telling me you just support everything WWE. It's like, no, I'm calling Rock a dumbass right now. Like, he fucked up Mania worse. He should have never said this stuff, because now I actually go, oh, fuck. They really knew for 2 months he wasn't going to be there? Like, that's some wild shit, you know? Then that's what they went with, that Travis Scott shit? Like, that was a wild way to end that Mania if they knew, right? Like, I just figured, okay, Rock for sure is like, last minute, guys, Scorsese, I can't do it. I'm in Hawaii. I'm filming this shit. Like, but they obviously knew for a minute, since he's been cast probably in that fucking movie, which has been a while ago. So, yeah, it's unfortunate to say the least. You'd think that they'd have just waited, but Scorsese's like pro wrestling. It's like, you might as well be stripping, you know? But anyways, this guy's like, I've already seen people in squared circles say this is a great move because of the video library WWE will have access to. Yeah, maybe that's an aspect of it. Maybe, yeah, because they're doing such a great job with all the other libraries they have. Yeah, they're making money hand over fist with them, and WCW's hot right now. If you go look at their channel, everybody's talking about WCW. It's always a trending hashtag and shit like that in our spaces now. WWE's doing a lot, man. You guys are just fucking dumb. People make excuses for anything if it's their favorite promotion doing it. Yeah, I guess. If you keep the same energy with AEW, then you're onto something. This guy goes, even more reason for AEW to continue enhancing and strengthening their partnerships with CMLL, New Japan, Stardom, and probably need to start upping it with Rev Pro too. So it's a monopoly if one does it, but not if another does it. Good. I sat down and watched a handful of matches, including current AEW talents across TNA, MLP, and HOG on YouTube last night just to fill my wrestling needs. More wrestling company shows and tours is better for the industry than fear of them. So then what's wrong with the biggest wrestling company in the world shining light on other wrestling companies? Fucking idiots. Hopefully the pro wrestling renaissance continues, not contracts. Yeah, fuck, man. Everyone is seeing great success other than Ring of Honor, AEW, and New Japan was hurting for a while there. So AEW and Ring of Honor are fucking doing shit attendances year over year, are not feeling the effects of this boom. And you're like, hopefully this renaissance continues. Yeah, it's continuing because WWE and all the indies that go on around WrestleMania weekend and shit, dude. They won't kill CMLL. Triple H has been dying for years. Stop selling out. That's a complete fucking lie, dude. CMLL has been selling out every week in AM for decades. CMLL is bigger than AAA. They're not trying to kill CMLL, bro. LOL, nothing WWE could do would harm CMLL. They're not trying to harm CMLL. Just being in Arena Mexico and the historic value of it all, they're pretty untouchable unless they lose all their top talent. And JPW, on the other hand, are in a rough spot and could be threatened by WWE money pouring into another company. Yeah, I don't know, man. It's weird that they don't want wrestling to get bigger in Mexico if they love Mexican wrestling. Elbu goes, I had taken note of how WWE had been suspiciously platforming their Mexican wrestlers too well for their standards lately. No, you never took note of that. That was never a fucking thing you were even worried about. They always held them in good standards or whatever you're talking about. Like, this guy's so fucking moronic. Hilariously, I'd heard a week ago that a couple of Evolvers were going to be sent over to AAA at some point in the near future. Then why didn't you know the thing I said on PWT about watch them team up with? There's another big Mexican company. Look out for that. They might scoop that. They might partner with them. Why don't you know any of that? Oh, just some Evolvers were going to be sent over hilariously. Why is that hilarious? It's hilarious that you fucking suck at getting the news. And all you're known for is leaking bullshit about wrestlers that are apparently your friends. So Ricochet just spurged out on everyone and was like, oh, man, these guys fucking suck. And he's just a cringe lord. I mean, people think he's playing heel. I don't know. But Julian Weeks is like, my question here is, what exactly did he say wrong? He said when wrestlers who are interested in jumping over to WWE are able to, they will consider bringing them over. Fans get mad about this one thing, but a wrestler getting mad about that makes no sense to me. And yeah, I think Ricochet responded and was like, man, read or listen to the rest of the post. They constantly mention Tony's dad like some big joke about AEW during their biggest week of the year. They are losers. Okay, so you mean when Tony Khan brought up Triple H's dad and called him Harvey Weinstein and all that kind of shit, bro? Like, Ricochet, this isn't trolling. If it's getting you over, getting you an extra little bit of money on Twitter or whatever, I guess good for you, but again, man, there's something in the water over there in AEW, and it just fucks people up, man. And they just start saying stupid shit, and they make the company look worse every time. So yeah, this guy posts a sword and a shield of these four companies. I quote tweeted this. I was like, who's going to tell him? But Jared Searcy's like, they need to be more united than ever. We see the potential result of stragglers purchased and later rebranded and deleted down the line. I don't care how it sounds. Those four are the last bastions of pushing this force back. If this alliance breaks, it's over. Jesus Christ. Meanwhile, New Japan's like, clearly people are leaving. They're ready to they're like, yes, let's get absorbed by WWE. So MJ from NJ, again, Sap's like, I swear I'm not going to harass people anymore. And then he's just using multiple accounts to be like, talk all that shit. Can say all this shit you want about me. Come and talk to me, right? He's on two different accounts, fucking harassing people. So Ricochet's like, ratings are constantly rising, pay-per-view numbers high as they ever been, no empty arenas, TV deals stacking up, sponsors coming in heavy. You sound fucking dumb. I feel bad for your family. They have to be related to you. And yeah, he's just wrong about all those things factually. Now, again, if he's trying to heal, it's just like, now you're giving people the chance to point out real things and go, no, you just look stupid. I don't know. I don't know. this Follow the Revolution guy, say this respectfully, fuck off, to Kevin Kelly, who's like in New Japan could be next. It's like, bro, you don't care about fucking New Japan. This FTR guy's like, notably, this is the guy meeting kids out front of the AEW shows, going, notably, All Elite Wrestling is revolutionizing the wrestling landscape by offering fans something innovative and distinct. No, it's just offering other companies. It's saying, hey, Ring of Honor, come here and just do Ring of Honor shit here. Hey, New Japan, come do New Japan shit here. That's all they're doing. The promotion has successfully catered to diverse tastes. No, it hasn't successfully done that. No, bro. If it's diverse taste, then you have the most casuals. The more diverse means the more diverse crowd. The more casuals you have, the more diverse they are. If you have 1 million people watching, chances are it's a much more diverse crowd than it being year over year plummeting year over year, and then narrowing it down to the key fucking 800,000 people tops that are going to watch it. Okay. I am thrilled to be part of this exciting journey. Now Stokely Hathaway's with FTR. Jesus Christ. Yeah, I don't know. This guy's like, the AEW's partnerships have broadened my knowledge of these other companies. So WWE's partnerships haven't broadened the knowledge of TNA or AAA or these other companies. See, they won't keep the same. They won't say the same thing. Oh, I'm so glad WWE is broadening people's knowledge of AAA and Lucha style. However, I don't think it's good that they're buying up. That's how you say that if you're being legit. But these people aren't legit. And then Ricochet laughing, people getting worked up. It's like, yeah, I don't know. You're just cringe. Righteous Reg is like, I've never hated a photo more in my life. So you don't love El Hijo because his plan was always to get to WWE, and you just didn't know that. So you don't actually like these guys. Ryan Satin's like, remember when Jim Cornette would swear AEW weren't going to last if they kept doing things he didn't like? And then Neckbeard's like, remember when Satin stalked his favorite corn star at a grocery store? I think he took pictures of her too or whatever. Kate Fabe pops up and goes, AEW and its international relationships are the only thing standing in the way of a monopoly. And whether or not you like their presentation, you should be thankful for that. Why is it standing in the way? See, these people don't like these other companies. They don't believe in them. They don't actually like them. Okay? They just have no faith in them whatsoever already. They're just like, well, if WWE wanted, they'd just go, what, buy CMLL and AAA? Are you fucking stupid? They'll just buy them both because, and fuck it. No, this AEW is not standing in the way of shit. All the indies prove that. AEW is standing in. Oh, yeah, the indies. If you're an indie talent, you go to AEW. It's okay. Now WWE IDs everyone. They all want to be a part of it. I thought they were standing in front of that. They're not standing in front of shit. And yeah, Julian Weeks keeps going back and forth with Ricochet. He's telling people, come fight me then. And it's like, now if something happens to you, you just asked for it. Now if someone runs, like, look, he got ratioed. It's like, that's not funny or cringe now, right? Like, you're inciting violence and shit. It's like, bro, if somebody comes and like, I'm not being a triggered pussy. It's like, I get it, right? Like, he's just saying, come fight me then. But it's like, you don't welcome that now. Now you're just like welcoming the weird shit. Someone like 8-Ball socks you at a fucking show, and then they go, well, you said come fight. It's like, I don't know. And I'm okay with it. I'm down with wrestlers working people, but when it's like a Twitter fight, bro, like, say that on the mic, like, save that shit for the crowd. I don't know. I don't know if this is working people into seats, which is what you should be trying to do on Twitter if you're going to work. So that's why I don't know if this is a work. I think this might just be him cringing out. BJ Bethel is like, the grifter fans have flocked over again. All I did was quote a Mexican wrestling writer, and I have these suddenly hardcore AAA fans with their Miz gifts coming at me. And then Raj goes, man, if you break a big story, you know what not to do. Show that you have an extremely biased side for a side. Yeah, it's just, BJ, you're super biased and you're a clown. So people are now clowning you. You're a lol cow. Right? And you found one story of one guy some writer that is going to agree with your thing, and then you run with it. You got to take the hit when people go, that's clown, right? So Drain Bamager's like, after this weekend, I'm thankful for AEW, the healthy and quality alternative for pro wrestling fans. I don't think it's healthy. None of y'all seem healthy, dude. People are making Gail Kim as all elite graphics, and then Gail Kim quote tweets this clown. This is one of the biggest clowns, AEW Cero Miedo. A bunch of wrestlers have been like, dude, you're a fucking idiot. Shut up. Him and the AEW Latino America account. People are like, you guys need to shut the fuck up. But Gail Kim says, it's sad when people assume that one female has to replace another. There's room for plenty of female producers or other roles. Don't make this about something it's not. And yeah, this guy's acting like Gail Kim's coming in to replace whoever the fuck was let go. Some girl who was let go from AEW who was big on, I think some talent that's, I can't remember. You guys will tell me in chat. It's probably in AEW news. So Elbow's like, they really should shift McAfee's role because he's a terrible commentator. He can remain a hype man and ambassador for WWE, but his approach doesn't work for serious stuff. Meanwhile, like an hour later, this tweet aged like shit, or like later in the night, this tweet aged like shit when McAfee got seriously choked out by Gunther. It's like, Elbow, just stop, bro. You're always serving up fucking plates of milk, bro. They age like shit. They stink. And yeah, McAfee's an awesome commentator, but yeah, he was super serious in that chokeout thing with Gunther or whatever. So yeah, Elbow and Nick Khan stroking each other here. Elbow's like, Nick Khan, AEW bad, am I right? Triple H, stop booing my booking. Roman, I am a centrist Dem. Trump is smart and good. And then Satin, the WrestleMania press tour has been going great. It's been going. Elbow's like, kids, this is Paul Heyman. That cartoonish, groveling, subservient fucking loser we've seen on TV the last few years. So he's trying to say not that. He's an edgy, insane piece of shit, conniving motherfucker that will say anything. I hate these edgelord cringe goofs that are like, just every swear in the book. Like, no, you're cringe. And then Elbow's like, this is Paul Heyman, not this guy we've seen the last few years. And I quoted this. I'm like, yeah, this clown knows Heyman better than Heyman and has never heard of character progression or development. Imagine dude trying to read a book. Like, for real. Oh, yeah, characters don't change, Elbow. You just need to go back. Like, this works so well because he went away from this forever. Fucking idiot. And then, yeah, Corey Brennan. I wonder, in genuine honesty, how Roman Reigns felt about the cuts to cancer research funding. That's what Corey Brennan had to say to fucking about Roman Reigns' comments. And it's like, bro, aren't you from Ireland or something?
Shut up, bitch.
And I was genuinely, I quote tweeted this. I was like, what a dumb fucking thing to say. Like, what cuts? And people are like, oh, they have NHI cuts or some shit. I just typed it into Google. They've been cut every fucking year. 03, 07, 10 to 13, 13 to 16, 2019, 2024, they were cut. Like, they're cut every year, this same specific thing. I'm like, man, fucking, I don't know, man. People just got to stay out of it. Let Americans figure their shit out, okay? Like, you're not going to fucking swoop in and go, oh, cuts to cancer research. Like, what? There's a bunch of wars going on. Cuts to all type of medical research happens when there's wars going on and shit. Like, what does that even mean? What are you talking about? So it's just crazy for them to just have reactions like this to things that, like, Corey, I don't think you even understand any of this. I certainly don't. Don't go there when you're talking about Roman really had cancer, bro. Right? Don't start like pulling that shit like what you think you're smarter than him. He didn't weigh out him living in America every day, what he thinks is better. Like, bro, these people are like fucking sad and weird, bro. A lot of them. Anyways, our last sicko here, AEW invented wrestling stables by Neckbeard. So AR Gold's like, Paul Heyman, guys, is WWE's version of the Don Callis family. And yeah, AR Gold just doing that to get the 49. Like, he just needs the money from Twitter, right? And that's literally all it is. Like, he just needs it. And yeah, that, ladies and gentlemen, was the Sicko segment. Let's get into news. Let's get into real life news. Let's check in a chat. Miss October 30 for 2 says, sniff, sniff. I smell Finn Balor backstabbing. Yeah, possibly. We got to see. We got to watch Raw. Judgment Day is definitely going to go to another new form again. Sooner than later. Miss October 30 for 2 says, the Sickos want AEW to buy AAA and New Japan, not WWE. That's just it. If they bought CMLL, they'd all celebrate it. If they bought AAA, they'd celebrate it. If they brought back Worlds Collide, they'd celebrate it. If Tony Khan outright bought New Japan or worked with Noah, they'd celebrate it. And so, yeah. And I enjoy that AEW. I'm actually not even mad that Tony owns ROH. He just fucked it up. He just didn't do anything special with it. He didn't revitalize it. He didn't go, well, here's my vision for what it could be. You know, he just wants it to be what it was, an old version of itself. He just wants to recreate all the old stuff that he used to watch. I've pointed it out time and time again here, you know. It's what he's interested in. So he doesn't care about like being innovative or anything like that. It's just what has been done. Let's just do it again. So, Mike, you won the 50. Yeah, make sure you get Lincoln Hawk your email, okay? And he will take care of you there with that, my good friend. And round of applause also for our winner and for Lincoln for just doing all of my fucking dirty work for me there while I got to focus on streaming and bringing you guys quality shows. Fucking amazing. You guys are awesome. Okay. We got real news to get to. I'm just checking. All hail the Illuminati. Yeah, that's right. Cornette is going to be cinema. Trip Moose Knuckle. Fuck, man. They're already in Mexico, Moose. That's not how it works. Oh, man. Okay, Rock and Roll. I saw that, guys. Rock and Roll was in there with FTR or whatever. You know, Adam Cole comes out. I don't know. It's hard, man. It's hard when. Yeah, it's hard, dude. You know, AEW. They're trying. They're trying their best. The start of the show was decent, and now we're getting the Bucks out here again. So. Okay, let's get ready for, let me check the likes on the Clips channel actually quickly. Making a run. Oh yeah, we crushed on the channel. You guys really, well, because we're not at 150 likes. No, I'm just kidding. 150 likes, I'll play Jericho on the Clips channel. How about that? Kevin, Phil doesn't read my shit anymore. I do. There's so many people, bruv, right? Like there's over 400 watching. I try to get to as much as I can, my guy, Kevin. I don't see what you said or where you said anything even. Idea, instead of watching AEW, do a watch along of Starrcade 85 since it's the 40th anniversary. No, I can't do that. I can't do that because I got to get Dynamite in at some point. But I will do that because I wanted to do that on Patreon, like watch all, like every pay-per-view ever and like review it like as I watch it. I did Inoki versus Ali. Like I started there and I was going to go from there. But okay, so the Bucks are just teaming with Bayley and this Kevin Knight gentleman. Okay. Okay, so yeah, should we do it? Yeah, we'll get an Ichi Nisanda. We're gonna get into some hot AEW news and what's been going on around here. Just gotta hydrate a bit. Tony doesn't know how to build anyone. He just takes the two new guys, sticks them together. Fucking stupid.
The best guys, Tony Khan.
Everyone, Ichi Nisanda for AEW news. And yeah. So AEW Dynamite, this is Hollywood Reporter. AEW Dynamite taps out WCW Nitro as longest running primetime wrestling show on TNT and TBS. This is great. Here's Tony Khan after the spring break, and he's literally quoting WWE going, then, now, forever, or something like, I'm not joking. He's literally doing WWE shtick, yelling. This was after they beat, well, they didn't beat Nitro. They just had more shows than Nitro did, but on primetime, I guess. But yeah. He's like, forever, forever, forever. King Kong ain't got nothing on me. No. And it's like pretty quiet, not gonna lie. Dude, he's patting his chest like, what did you do? They really cared that much about beating Eric Bischoff, bro. This is fucking sad, dog. This is really sad. It's really actually kind of pathetic, and I feel bad. I'm not gonna lie. That's so fucked. Like, he's beating his chest like Michael Jordan hitting that fucking 3 at the buzzer to win the chip. Like, what did you do? Your flagship show has less people than were at Raw this last week, bro. Like, how many were in attendance at this show and how many were in attendance at WCW's last show? Can someone get me those numbers? Like, how many people attended WCW's last ever show? And how many people were at this show for the spring breakthrough? Like, this shit is unbearably cringy. I'm like cringing. That is insanely cute. So World Star Hip Hop, so they paid, like, here's the thing, Ricochet, you're going to talk shit to folks. Never would I pay World Star anything to promote my wife. Look how they clowned his wife, dude. And you know they paid for this promo. That's how World Star works, bro. Look how they clowned his wife, man. World Star Hip Hop tweets out, WWE's Ricochet's wife, Samantha, is the bomb, is thick. And then they just zoom in on her ass. How many views did that get? Her music, bro. How many more, like, you can clown anybody you want, but you gave these motherfuckers money to do your wife like that, bro. And to do you like that, WWE's Ricochet's wife. They won't even say AEW. That's humiliating, bro. You know? Ricochet says WWE wanted him to re-sign, but he denied. Yeah, we know. So Samoa Joe is a bad motherfucker. So yeah, here's Samoa Joe cutting it up after last week's Dynamite, and I hope to God they put the world title on him off Mox, man. He shouldn't have even won this trio shit. He should have just won the fucking world title from Mox.
Now, I don't know if y'all know this. You see, Samoa Joe look like Tom Brady in Boston. I don't lose around these parts. In fact, every major championship I've won in the great state of Massachusetts. And now I stand out here in front of you amongst the plethora of the baddest motherfuckers that ever walked the earth. I stand in front of you next to my brother Shibata.
Yeah, and Shibata wasn't here, I don't think, was he? Or was it Hook? Hook was back. And then Shibata just wasn't there. Or am I wrong about that? Maybe. And then now the whatever, they just chant for him and stuff. They're celebrating like he won the world title. But here's the thing. I think they're implementing a Freebird rule with the trios titles now, which is just super lazy booking, man. Now the trios titles are just the faction belts now, and anyone can float around. Like, if they start doing that with them, man, I'm gonna just fucking clown Tony Khan some more, like, because that'd be fucking terrible. So here's Darby Allin, man. He's been climbing. He's climbing this fucking mountain. He's doing it, man. He's doing the damn thing. So hopefully he survives. The last episode of Nitro had 3 million people watching it. Dynamite episode to celebrate beating Nitro. 624,000. All that hype about spring break, man. And they drew like a low fucking number for them. Or like their normal number. It's fucking terrible. So this is what I was talking about earlier. Sarah Stock was a big Mariah May supporter, and she's gone from AEW. Mariah May is also more than likely leaving AEW, folks. And May previously revealed that she took part in a 2019 tryout and thought she didn't get a job out of it, though she didn't get a job out of it. She did receive some useful advice. WWE trainer Sarah Stock encouraged May to get some international experience, which is exactly what she did. So she took the advice from WWE to go get international experience. That's what she did. This whole time, even this AEW journey for Mariah May has been her trying to get back to WWE eventually. Okay? And I guess Sarah Stock was in AEW as well, and now she's gone, right, conspicuously, as Mariah May has been left off TV and is seemingly leaving. And that's why she's being left off TV. Tony's the worst booker of all fucking time. So Thurston talks about, let's just hear what Thurston and Pollock have to say here about AEW.
Degree for his success. So I think you read that a number of ways, but I read that as he's talking about Tony Khan there. At least it fits my impression of what's happening there. And I, if you read weird shit like The Observer or or other bits of wrestling media, it seems very possible that a contributing reason why Cody Rhodes left AEW is because of maybe disagreements about power and control within AEW. And I think Tony Khan does have a number of weaknesses as a leader. He's an inexperienced leader, and he's, I believe, shown to be underprepared and lacking in self-awareness. And many of the internal challenges that AEW face come down to that he is an inexperienced leader, that he doesn't seem to be very aware and doesn't even seem to take accountability for the decline in AEW's popularity lately.
Lately? No, just overall, the whole time. But yeah, at least Thirsty Thurston, man. He keeps it real, though. I mean, he was the one who said AEW was all fucking lost 150 mil. He's not thirsty because that. He's thirsty because he's just real. He's got this hard on for Vince that he just won't let go. Like he just wants WWE gone, but he doesn't care if fucking all wrestling suffers because like he doesn't give a shit one way or the other. But he's just thirsty because right before Mania, he'll just say all this bullshit. Like, I don't know. Just the way he's just thirsting to be like WWE's not as getting popular again, or it's just not as for some reason he's like that one guy from the Vince doc who just hates fucking pro wrestling. That's the vibe I get from Thurston. The Nielsen gauge, we're gonna keep this here till we get the next one. So Shane Taylor and Carly Bravo had been added to the AEW roster page from Ring of Honor, I guess. Mercedes Monet, and I tweeted this out. I was like, I do love that Mercedes is typically always a good sport when people troll her, and she also doesn't think much of dirt sheets either, which is the truth. She doesn't get butthurt when people, troll her. But Mercedes says, I have a little driver to get to Doncaster for RevPro UK. Shall we do a little Q&A using the RevPro high stakes hashtag CEO RevPro? And then MJ from NJ's like, which member of your entourage is answering these questions? E or Turtle? And then Mercedes goes, Mia. So I thought that was funny. A little entourage joke there, no? So this guy, Julian Ward, tagged me in Pro Wrestle Time. So Max is in bed with WWE and AEW now. I guess so. I guess AAA is on Max. Sure. They were already showing that Logan Paul show. I mean, it's the TV business. That shit's never going to be, you know, you're always going to have some crossover in some way like that. So here's WWE Las Vegas vibes. And here's AEW Vegas vibes.
You're the man, Danny. Thank you very much.
So Phil Brooks' toupee says, Welp, I got fucked out of Ring of Honor tickets totally because of the company's incompetence. The all-in experience has soured me from going to live events. I've had issues at every level of trying to give this company money. After wasting multiple breaks at work, I'm done. So again, they announce another show, Ring of Honor, on Friday, July 11th. ROH will blow the roof off of Esports Stadium in Arlington for one of its biggest pay-per-view events of the years. They moved it, though. So update on ROH tickets. They dropped, and I got the only front row seats available. Why are those the only available, though? Well, they have complimentary seats for the show that come with these tickets packages. So the ticket map looks like this for almost every section. But my count, they only dropped 203 tickets total to the event for the public to purchase, given this is a small venue. But that seems like a bit too little for a weekend where people will be flying from overseas and the like. So MJ from NJ goes, Tony Khan saw all the backlash to WWE today and said, hold my joint. Is this possible? ROH only out 200 to 300 tickets on sale, only put, he meant, right, for their big show, all in Texas weekend. What the fuck? This can't be right. That dude could look a gift horse in the mouth and still choose to spend his fortune on a donkey. Levels of embarrassment at a time. He needs to be executing on all levels. So, yeah, I don't know. He's just fucking up, man. Tony Khan's a terrible businessman when it comes to this shit. People are getting fucked out of tickets and stuff. Someone pointed this out, though. Mercedes Monea doesn't follow Becky Lynch, but I do follow Tessa Blanchard. And it's cringe to look up who's following who, like who gives a shit. But that is interesting as far as, like, why wouldn't she follow Becky? Like, I don't care if she follows Tessa or whatever, but why doesn't she follow Becky? That's weird. I thought they were always the four horsewomen's and all of that. So here's Monet just being extra cringy.
A day in the life of the CEO. First, we make money.
Oh my God, this is so beautiful, and it just makes me so proud of who you are and what you have accomplished. Now, AEW, okay, of my life. I love it. Good. Anytime you're in town, I'm gonna be there screaming and hollering.
So there you go.
Hard on my back, but I stay ready. So who's ever ready to jump on the
money train next?
The money train next. Amazing stuff. So special announcement, AEW Beach Break will feature a live broadcast of AEW Dynamite, as well as a special taping of Collision on Wednesday, May 14 at the Now Arena in Chicago. Additionally, Ring of Honor Supercard of Honor has been rescheduled for Friday 11 at the Esports Stadium in Arlington for All in Texas. ROH Death Before Dishonor will now take place on September 5th at the historic 2300 Arena in Philly. AEW Collision, originally scheduled for May 17 in Wichita, has been canceled, and refunds are available at all original points of purchase. So Kansas getting fucked. Refunds for the previously scheduled Supercard of Honor on Friday, May 2 are available at all points of purchase. So when people were like, oh, no, it's smart that Tony Khan shifted all that stuff away from May. No, bro. He's being ultra reactionary all the time. And right here, he's just bumble fucking around, moving stuff around. Fans are getting pissed. They can't get tickets for shows that they want to go to. They got to get it together, man. They really, really do. Master P is here on Dynamite. So Thurston says AEW canceled the Collision taping in Wichita, set for 17. Dynamite on May 14, and Hoffman will now be Dynamite and Collision. Supercard of Honor, set for May 2 in Atlantic City, is moved 2 months later to Arlington. He's just trying to stuff all of his shit. Now, some people might go, oh, they're going to make AEW like an AEW weekend, an all-in weekend. And that could be cool, I guess, and they could surround with their own shit. And maybe if they start doing that from now on, then okay. Then I can look back in hindsight and go, well, it was dumb that it wasn't dumb in the long run. But as of now, it just seems so like, what are you doing, man? You guys already have a hard enough time selling tickets. Now you're just fucking around, changing all the shows. And then Leo Rush tweeted out AEW greater than everything. And of course, people jumped on him and reminded him, you were the one who was like, AEW, Tony Khan, apologize and shit. And that, ladies and gentlemen, was AEW news. You know what they say.
The best guys, Tony Khan.
Round of applause for AEW news. We got WWE news. Let's check in with chat, though, first. As the Hurt Business comes out here. David Carradine's Closet has become a new member. That is amazing. And an insane name.
Are you sure about that?
Thank you for becoming a member. Guys, memberships are 99 cents. Super chats are welcome. Hit like, hit subscribe, become a patron. Whatever you need to do to support this channel. Hit dislike, leave a comment, whatever. PWT chat, gimmick infringement, where? AEW is just indie shit with a lot of money behind it. Yep. Cash, that's my gimmick. Too many rappers. Cuervo. Money talks. Monet slurs. The fact AEW can only sell 2K tickets in New Orleans is slightly concerning. Yeah. PWT. Yeah. Pete in Texas. What's up, buddy? I haven't seen you in a grip, I feel like. How you been? Okay. Let's go. Have a good night, Miss October. Yeah, take it easy. Peace and love. Get some rest. THS are the only reason to watch AEW without being ready to laugh. Phil allegedly gave Husey feet pics. Allegedly. His feet pics when he had gout.
Allegedly.
I got those. No. Yeah, we'll get to some WWE news here. Let's listen to Hurt Syndicate for a sec. Oh, as I stretch. So the gates of agony are being called out again.
Because they got some hungry young lads. Impressive, but now it's not their time.
So MVP put over the gates of agony, pretty much.
I'd like to hand the mic over to the almighty Bobby Lashley, because he has a few things he'd like to say.
So Bobby's going to talk some shit. Who's interrupting them?
Some sort of interruption here.
Sounds like cars driving. It'll be MJF or what? MJF, keep it running. Here's a tip. Hits him in the dick. Okay, so what is MJF doing? Interrupting Bobby. I'm glad we're building towards a tag match or a singles feud with the fucking tag champs or whatever's happening here. The Hurt Biscuits. Yeah, Max versus Bobby would be a fun match, you know? It's just so dumb that Joe's a trios champ and is like, I'm coming for the world title. And then fucking Lashley's a tag champ, but he's like in a singles feud with Max and shit. It's super dumb. But I don't know. Cut my music. Cut my music.
Gentlemen, no, hell, we all know you had a good time last week, okay? If you guys want to have
I wonder if Godfather was mad about gimmick infringement.
all I need are 3 thumbs up. That's it.
Gallows and Anderson might go back to New Japan, and they're doing something in MLW, I think, or maybe Maple Leaf Pro or whatever the fuck.
Thumbs up. That's one. Sheldon.
They thumbs them up. Maybe they'll evolution him and thumbs him down soon. Okay, let's get into some WWE news. Well, we watch this as they make something clear to him.
The only reason you got a thumbs up is because of this man. Don't forget that.
So Shelton warning MJF. MVP. Can he call? He's calling him Montel. Has he been called MVP in AEW? Now they're chanting Bob at Bobby Lashley.
Okay, hold on. I think I know where you're going with this.
I wonder if they're going to accept MJF into it.
Now look, I know you have your reservations, but if I'm in the syndicate, we're going to get everything, man. All the money, the power, the respect, all the gold in the world. Yes, Bob, you bring a lot to the
So why is I just don't get, why is he trying to be in this group? Why? Why would MJF waste his fucking time?
I know this place better than anybody. I know how to cut corners better than anybody. That's a shoot. I know how to win by any means necessary better than anybody. You let me in the syndicate, we don't just run it.
Like it's not like Bobby has the world title and this is a way for him to, you know, get at it from the inside. Vulcan 280 for 5 says, never thought I would see the day people apologizing to Dave Meltzer for getting the call about The Rock right. Well, we're going to talk about that, and he didn't. Are people apologizing to him? They're fucking pussies, man. He didn't get anything right. He just said The Rock might not be there, and they thought about turning Cody Rhodes heel. Okay, a lot of people said those things. All the details surrounding that he got wrong. All the details around those things he got wrong about one instance. And everyone's like, he was right about the whole buildup and the whole. No, he's not. No, he wasn't. He was saying shit like they weren't talking to Triple H, and Triple H it's all compartmentalized and shit. When it's not. Well, at least if you believe The Rock now, The Rock's like, Triple H is in on all these conversations. So he just was, it's like the broken clock thing. Like, okay, it's a 50-50 thing to say, oh, they were going to turn Cody Rhodes heel or John Cena heel. They definitely teased Cody Rhodes going heel. I don't even think I jumped. I don't even think I jumped on Dave's ass that hard for saying they thought about making Cody Rhodes heel. Because it's like, obviously, they thought about doing all the outcomes, you know? Like, you have to weigh out, like, well, is he going to go heel or is he going to go heel? How's, you know? So that's not even a thing where you give him bonus points. That's just Dave's 50-50 booking. He said both things, you know? But it's the actual, like, nuance of it all where he tried to make it out like The Rock's just coming back and making these decisions and he'll just let them know. There's no plans for him now, but he'll just let them know. And I don't know. Like, it's just like, no, bro. They apparently 2 months ago, they had set in stone The Rock wouldn't be there type shit. So it's like, if that's the case, nobody was saying that. Nobody knew. Nobody was like, well, just Travis will be there and The Rock won't be there. And like, no one fucking, where was Dave on the AAA news? You know, where was Dave when he said The Rock's relative fucking died when he didn't? You know, where was Dave with the internal Discord memos that were fake, like, or WBD memos he found in a fan Discord? Like, it's all of these things you don't get forgiven now because of the one thing where you 50-50 booked The Rock will be there or might not be. Okay, you know, anyone could have said that, so that's not being right. Damn, Riccaboni, Excalibur, and Taz. That's a terrible lineup for commentary. But yeah, speaking of WWE, let's get into some WWE news. Where is my breaking?
Allegedly.
James Gunn tweeted out the picture of John Cena winning the title. Shout out James Gunn. That's my guy too. Rusev's first comments after returning to WWE. Here they are. So Rusev made a big return on Raw. We popped to it. Here's his comments after his match. Or it wasn't even a match. It was just him beating people's asses.
It's been too long. 5 long years. But finally Rusev is back where he belongs. And this time, I will take what's rightfully mine. Everything.
There you go, man. Rusev's ready to Machka and crush, bro. WWE officially retired the Universal title. So the lineage of it is done. Cody Rhodes is considered like the first, although it's the same lineage, right? But it is just the WWE Championship, you know, and it's the undisputed title. And Cody Rhodes is considered like the first of this new line, and then John Cena. But the Universal title, it's officially in the books. So good riddance. Rusev has signed a 2-year deal with WWE, which me and Husey were messaging about this. And it's like, if he only signed for 2 years, they don't fucking expect anything. If that's true, they don't got shit for that guy. So I wouldn't expect anything too crazy. Maybe like grabs the U.S. title, or maybe he's like a Shinsuke type guy where he's up there for the world title, but he just doesn't quite get it because, yeah, I mean, a 2-year deal. And then Lana is on a Legends and Nostalgia deal. This is per Deadline, and the deals were negotiated by their agents, Paradigm. Yeah, did I read that on Twitter? Jericho's looking for a new agency too, or something like that. May have read something like that. So, Paradigm. I wonder. A lot of rumors about him lately too. It's curious, or maybe Fozzy is, or whatever, right? But yeah, It's good. Maybe we'll get Lana in the video games as just like a manager. I'm all for just adding the managers, you know, that are NPCs, but you can play as. So The Rock, he goes, yeah, I'm showing up on Pat McAfee. We'll circle back to that, but I quote tweeted this and I was like, you're fucking kidding me. Marufuji is in a picture here. Noah wearing a Noah shirt, and he's with Shawn Michaels. And Michaels is like, great to catch up with Marufuji today. Always enjoy talking shop with our partners at Noah. Exciting things ahead as we explore what the future could look like. And so that made me think, hey, you know, maybe Noah's just locked in and they're down. They're down to just work with WWE or maybe more particularly just NXT. And the problem is that Marufuji liked this tweet, though. This guy tweeted out, bring him back, please. Triple H doesn't know how to do his job. And then Marufuji fucking liked that. So I wonder if maybe Noah and NXT are more linked up and they more deal with HBK, and then New Japan is like Triple H's sort of endeavor into Japanese, rather the Rocks or whatever. I don't think it's as compartmentalized as it appears on the surface, as we'll talk about when we talk about Dave. Or maybe that got lost in translation and Marufuji just thought like that didn't mean what we, you know, maybe giving him the benefit of the doubt. I don't know. Bayley reveals she has a year and a half left on her WWE contract. So again, what have I been telling you guys? Bayley, some of these wrestlers are on there like, we're just putting people over stages. Okay. Now, I'm not saying Bayley's never going to wrestle again, but you got a year and a half left. She's going to fucking levy Tony Khan's money against WWE's. I don't see her going anywhere. WWE will re-sign Bayley. However, what if they offer her less and they don't come to an agreement or something? Like, we don't know. And with Bayley, I feel like she's just on like the back nine, as you say, you know? Not that she's washed or anything, but it's just there's such an influx of women's talent, and Bayley really doesn't stand out that much anymore. I got to be honest. She's great. She's one of the best to ever do it. But since Damage Control, for me, if they spin her heel and she just goes super evil, maybe she can get something out of that again. But yeah, I've been saying it, like a bunch of these wrestlers, you know, I don't know how many more high profile matches Bayley's ever going to have at Mania again. She just last minute got taken off this one. How many she's got in her? 10? 5? What do you guys think? If I said 10 or 5, it's more like 5. Even that could be put right. She just got pulled off this one. How many years? She got a year and a half left. So next one, hopefully she's on there. You guys get what I'm saying? Like, there's a lot of wrestlers in WWE. I don't know if people realize, like, they the numbers are I told y'all, man, 2025 was going to be crazy, and I said a long time ago too, 2027 is going to be crazy for both companies, and I said that a while back. I was right about 2025 being crazy for AEW. I'm right about 2027, I think, being crazy for both companies. Right? I think it's going to be a wild year, man. And I say it all the time. I could see AJ Styles doing a one-off in AEW. People are like, he wouldn't do that. I could see him doing one in AEW. I could totally see it, just one after he's retired. Like, he won't sign a deal with them, but just show up and do something. I mean, I would not put that past him. Bayley, I don't know, as much as she marks out for her homegirls and she loves going to these shows at TNA and everything, I think WWE could keep her happy by letting her do like the Natty thing, and she could go do the Crockett Cup next year and go do Bloodsport if she wants. She can go to Japan. She can do, I think they'll do a TNA match if she wants. Like, I think they'll keep her happy in that way, and I don't think Bayley would go anywhere, not even for a one-off with AEW. Just my opinion. BET tweets out, from Orlando Magic dancer to WWE Trailblazer, Naomi talks with BET about black representation in wrestling and never dimming her light. So they do a big piece on her. Mainstream. Variety. tweets out that WrestleMania 41 is the most successful and highest grossing event in WWE history. Now, what all these fucking marks are doing, like Dave Meltzer again, WrestleMania didn't crack the top 10 and on Netflix. Where? This is the problem now. Dave is playing semantics. All these dirt sheet goofs, they're playing semantics by not clarifying it should be in the headline, not in the top 10 in Netflix in the USA. It's number one. WrestleMania was number one in the world. Every other country that has Netflix, not in the USA because it was on Peacock, though. So this is the game they're playing now. Like, it's so dirty. People wonder why. No, we're not apologizing to Dave because he guessed some shit that The Rock, that you're all calling The Rock a liar, but The Rock's telling the truth about the Dave part. You fucking idiots. Which is it? So, no, Dave just guessed a 50-50 thing, was right about the same way when I fantasy mark book shit that comes true. Okay? It's not like you fucking get points for that. Unless you play against Phil, you can win a $50 gift card. No. That's fun though. We got to do that again. But yeah, like in the USA, they weren't in the top 10 because it was streaming on Peacock. Right? It wasn't on Netflix. So, or maybe was it on Netflix in the USA? I don't even fucking know. But everywhere else, it was number one. Like it was being watched globally by everybody. So anyways, the most successful, highest grossing event. It was the most viewed WrestleMania of all time, up 114% from the record that was set last year. So there you go. That's what you need to be reporting. We'll circle back to that. And then we got a bunch of Rock stuff. Yeah, we got a bunch of Rocky clips. So, The Observer, WWE WrestleMania 41 misses Netflix top 10. Raw April 14 global views up slightly. So, yeah, Dave's just a fucking idiot. Here we go. Here's Randy Orton being outraged by WrestleMania prices himself. He was outraged himself by these.
Yeah, they're very expensive. Lower bowl, C135 for both nights. Not on floor at all. Yeah. This is our first Mania. I'm like, you know what? Go big or go home. I know. And then SmackDown and Raw.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, money ain't a thing to Orton, but like, still, you want fans to be able to not have to take out fucking loans to go to the shows, you know? Because then you're weeding out a lot of the diehards too. So speaking of Mania, they released the POV footage of the fucking lady getting crashed into. Yeah, everyone was fine. It just fucking spilled some drinks and stuff. What? That's wild. So, yeah, I mean, in the UK, it was number one. I believe in Canada as well. I don't really know what these goobers are always talking about here, crying. So we circle back to a couple clips from the roast were released. This is like all the footage anyone can find. So let's take a listen to both of these. Here's Paul Heyman and Gabriel Iglesias, Fluffy, who usually doesn't work too blue, you know? He's like a family act, but he was here at the roast having a good old time. And I hope we see this thing, but it was filmed professionally. We know that. But let's see. Here's Paul Heyman roasting Fluffy and some other people here at the roast.
Nobody besides being on Joe Rogan's show until he went to the Republican National Convention and told a joke about Puerto Rico. Fluffy, of course, is up here. I don't know if he's a Mexican or a Cuban who pretends to be fucking Puerto Rican. Told the mustache of the 12-year-old homeless kid from San Juan. I think the 12-year-olds, then, to be honest with you, if you look around sometimes, they're probably the smartest. Oh, he's talking about you and your whole fucking family, right? I mean, you're sitting there just sucking the maggot goo out of Tony's fucking dick, drinking it all over yourself, and sucking his ass. You can be up here in front of wrestling fans, but you can't sell out the fucking joint unless you back ride on a Tony fucking Hinchcliffe who back rides on Joe fucking Rogan.
She's just like roasting Rogan the whole time. Is he even there? I wasn't there. I wasn't even there.
While the two of them are like my old ECW leather jacket, never coming out of the closet again.
He just said Tony wasn't coming out of the closet like his old ECW leather jacket. That's kind of funny.
Or as they know when they go on the road together, Tony Hinchcliffe and Iglesias, Fluffy and Fluffer.
Paul's just like cutting a promo. He doesn't have like a stand-up cadence, you know?
Tonight we have heard stories and told stories about some of the most amazing superstars in this business we call professional wrestling. But out of all of them, the crowd only cheered and chanted one fucking name. They didn't chant Paul. They didn't chant Tony. They didn't chant anybody else up here tonight but this one fluffy Mexican.
That's weird. That didn't seem like a roast at all. Were they really arguing or something? I don't get it. There's another clip that leaked. Here, let's listen. Because, yeah, I wouldn't air that either. I'd cut that whole part out. It just wasn't really that funny.
Redneck.
So here we have like Strowman, McAfee, Miz, Sami Zayn. They're all sitting at this table. There's a bunch of people.
Easy, immediate, extra plug. Yeah. Braun Strowman, you look like a meth lab exploded next to a GNC.
Braun Strowman looks like a meth lab exploded next to a GNC. That's funny, dude. Oh, yeah, that's Fluffy right there. Okay.
That nigga got a creatine fetish. Braun Strowman looks like he drives a forklift with Trump nuts. That's what I was standing next to Braun Strowman all night tonight, bro. That motherfucker smelled like racism and a poop. That's weird.
Where are these people watching it? They're like on a screen watching it somewhere. How? Where? Invite me over.
I was back there kicking it with my girl Nia Jax, her big back ass. I love. Nia Jax has the body of gold dust. Nia Jax's favorite sex position is the three-point stance.
Jesus. They're all grown, and all these same motherfuckers called her a fridge for a fucking year. So come on now.
Nia Jax is into BDSM. Her safe words are down, set, hut.
Yeah, you can't do. They're all just like, they don't want to laugh. That's their coworker, but they're like, oh fuck. It's like you just almost can't do it in wrestling.
I said Nia Jax's name 3 times and my crock pot came on. That's what it did, motherfucker. Nia.
He just went in on Nia. He keeps calling her Nia Jax too. It's like, goddamn, he's botching the name. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe they made the right call not to air that shit. I don't know. It just seems like the crowd wasn't that into it. The Rock, though, he announces, he's like, I'm gonna fucking show up on the McAfee show, right? And then everybody's like, what? Couldn't show up at Mania? You're gonna call into this shit? And I think he was like in Hawaii or some shit. And so basically what came of this was two things. Everybody's calling The Rock a liar and a piece of shit. And then everybody's saying Dave Meltzer and Sapp and all these goofballs are owed fucking apologies for being right about. No, they weren't right. They all contributed and painted a narrative that galvanized a bunch of people into thinking that The Rock and Triple H are compartmentalized and not sharing ideas, and The Rock is just showing up willy-nilly, ripping up scripts on the fly. We're changing this. Hey, I'm here tonight. Which there is an element of that. We know that if The Rock's in town, you fucking have. But we're supposed to believe The Rock about just this Dave Meltzer part, or just the part where Dave Meltzer 50-50 fantasy booked, oh, they said Cody Rhodes could go heel or whatever, but they didn't do that. It seems like, yeah, he says shit after the fact. That doesn't fucking matter, okay? The point is that The Rock here, if you guys are believing that, then listen to what he's actually saying. He's saying that they talk everything out and Triple H is in all these talks, and they knew for like 2 months he wasn't going to be at WrestleMania. That's what he's saying. He said that we'll listen to these clips and we'll react to them. Okay. But if they didn't know for 2 months and that's the ending they came up with, I'm more pissed now. I'm less pissed if The Rock was just last minute going, oh, I just couldn't be here or whatever the fuck. Honestly, I am, because it's like, okay, if it's last minute, sometimes there's just things where you fuck. And they, in fairness to WWE too, they never advertised The Rock. They didn't steal anything from the fans. Nobody came out and said The Rock was going to be there. But for everyone, like, we owe Meltzer an apology. No, you don't. Okay? He's lied about so many other things. Discord fan fucking fic saying that they're internal WBD memos. Right? I mentioned 100 before, okay? Saying people who in The Rock's family were dead that weren't dead yet. Okay? Without being able to confirm. Saying he has reports. These people, there's a report, Bill Goldberg's trading. No, you saw his Instagram post like everyone else. Reports, Mariah May's been a big fan of WWE and has always wanted to go there. No, it's not reports, Dave. That's not an inside. Oh, our sources told. No, you saw it on Twitter like everyone else did. You saw people posting her old tweets. Okay. So, and then you're just trying to go, oh, source said. It's like BJ Bethel, all this invisible guy corroborated. No, it's a lucky guess. Even I was saying Cody Rhodes could go heel. It's either going to be Cena or Rhodes here. Someone's going heel. It's going to be crazy. Rhodes came out dressed in black. I was like, oh, it's going to be Cody Rhodes. Even I was saying it the night of. Okay? Because we really didn't fucking know. Now, everybody wants to call The Rock a liar, but then they want to believe him about this one part. So when was he lying? Then or now? When's he this big liar? Okay, then or now that he's sort of confirming what the fuck. Not just Dave said. I hate that it's even worded that way. I'm done wording it that way. It's not just what everybody said. Cody Rhodes could go heel too, but just talking about, oh, like The Rock pitched, or it was pitched for Cody Rhodes to go heel, but whatever the fuck Dave said. Okay, let's say he's right. Broken clock right twice a day. Let's give him that. He doesn't get an apology for all the other shit. Okay, like it's not okay, that one Rock thing. Okay, maybe I'd have to even look over what he was saying, but it's just the overall narrative of him. And also, he was saying all this stuff was happening last minute, when realistically, The Rock just confirmed. If we're believing The Rock about this shit, then we have to believe him. No, they had this plan for 2 months. Triple H is in on these conversations, so it's not compartmentalized, and it's been fucking 2 months. They knew that they were going to do that bullshit ass finish. Okay. And they're saying last minute, or The Rock claims that last minute he was called to help the ticket sales of Elimination Chamber. Okay. So we discussed that on my show when Ari Emanuel was like, something crazy is going to happen at Chamber. Okay. You don't want to miss Chamber. It's going to be crazy. That was the Cena heel turn. Okay. So this isn't this sperm of the moment, as Jim Cornette would say, type booking that these sheets and Dave Meltzer helps perpetrate like this entire year, like it was. Rock came in. So what it was it was going to be Cena with Travis Scott then, who was going to be involved in the heel turn. All they did was add The Rock. Okay. So that changed nothing about the outcome of that shit. right? So this was even more planned out than people think. The Rock didn't show up and go, hey, I'm going to show up and bolster ticket sales and show up with Travis like they had us all think The Rock was, or let's say what they had us all thinking this whole time. You would think then that the story would be The Rock showed up and was like, no, I'm fixing this. Let me be a part of this angle. But according to The Rock, if we're believing that, he was called in last minute to just add to the segment and boost ticket sales and all that. So it was going to be Travis and Cena heel turning on Cody Rhodes. What I think, this is my theory, is that The Rock's saying a bunch of bullshit right here, folks. That's what I think. I think we don't know. I don't even think The Rock meant to confirm any dirt sheets. I don't even think he knows. And do you know who said that the dirt sheets were full of shit? Do you know who said Dave was full of shit about this specific stuff? Was Gewurz and The Rock him fucking self. Saying, don't believe this stuff, blah, 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 blah. Okay? So, Meltzer gets no forgiveness. He gets no points. No. This is what he can apologize for. Saying people were dead when they weren't, pushing memos as news that weren't, lying about 30% and numbers that people can verify aren't true by just looking at NBA numbers and stuff. He can apologize for all of those fucking things first, and then maybe we'll go, yeah, you had that Rock one, huh? You had a hit in the last fucking 5 years, right? Like, that's how this works. It's not fucking, it's not like, how do you explain this? Like, it's not like he's beating the shit out of me the whole time and then I land a jab and it's like I'm winning the fight now. Like, no. You know, now is okay, Dave. Start stroking them out. Where were you on the AAA news? Right? And that's all it boils down to. It's all it fucking boils down to. We're not going to start giving Meltzer flowers because he kind of semi-guessed a thing that fucking a bunch of people thought could have happened. And because that liar Rock is saying it. Because I don't believe shit the Rock's saying anymore. I just really don't. I really think, because even in this interview, we're going to point out at one point, The Rock's like, yeah, you know, the final boss doesn't need to be in this story. Like, he's not a part of it. That part's done. And then a minute later, he's going, we can come back to the soul. The soul, we can come back to that. I think The Rock's just talking out of his ass and by proxy made people think fucking Meltzer was right about some shit. That's all it is. So you're all fucking stupid, and I would like to take this time to apologize to absolutely fucking nobody. And I'm doubling down on Meltzer being a dumbass here. So let's continue along here. Let's listen to some of these clips from The Rock, man. He shows up. We can read some of it. The Rock on his pitch for Cody Rhodes to turn heel and why he didn't appear at Mania 41. The Rock says, I was an advocate of that, not turning Cody heel soon, but down the line. So then what did Dave get right? So this is the thing. Everyone owes Dave an apology. No, Dave said that the pitch was to turn Cody Rhodes heel instead of Cena and shit. No, that's not what fucking happened. The Rock is saying. So people just didn't take time to read. They didn't take time to listen to or even look or understand any media literacy. Bunch of dumb fucks who don't know how to read, bro. Okay? Illiteracy is fucking down. And we need to bring it back. And so what The Rock's saying here is that he wasn't trying to, he's an advocate of turning Cody Rhodes heel down the fucking line. Okay? You guys get that? So down the line with the soul thing. Not at the chamber. The chamber was the last minute thing. They already had it planned out. Do you guys get it? So Meltzer was not right about fucking Cody Rhodes was going to turn heel or whatever. Like, no, none of that was right. But his soul, what affects generations. When we got to chamber, we were kicking ideas around and Triple H said, what about John turning? I love it. The next thing is you've got to speak to John and see if he loves it. John loved this idea of turning. So the night of chamber is when they decided, or when we got to chamber, is this them planning it out way in advance? You guys get what I'm saying? This is either The Rock talking about them planning all this shit way in advance, talking about, yeah, I'd love the idea of Cody Rhodes turning down the line from fucking chamber. And then when we got to chamber, they said John Cena. what about him turning? And Rock goes, I love that idea too. So no, this isn't, Meltzer was not right about anything. He said this is all him sporadically ripping up the sheets on the fly, and him and Triple H don't see eye to eye. And so if The Rock's creative overtakes Triple H's creative, we've covered it here on the fucking show. Fuck. Fucking idiots. The IWC, bro, is real fucking stupid. Just overall. Okay? You guys just have to understand that. And, yeah, it's insane. It's like either The Rock is talking about they plan this shit out way in advance. All of it, including Cody Rhodes not turning heel, but way down the road they're going to do that. So what the fuck was Meltzer right about? Well, The Rock did pitch it. John loved this idea of turning, but there's this anchor here that I want to root it in. That's a real thing I've been experiencing the past 25 years. I knew then the best thing for the final boss is we've established this thing with Cody's soul. I don't want to be involved in that. Let the final boss step back into the shadows. Let all the spotlight go to John Cena and Cody. Not to make it about Cody's soul or John's soul. Let them do what they do. So The Rock is bullshitting. That wasn't a creative choice for him to go, let him step back. No, you got a Scorsese movie. So which part of this are we believing? Chat. Hey, Meltzer defenders, which part of this are we believing? Well, the one part is real, but like everything else, he's just lying. Fucking idiots. I called John and Cody after the chamber, and I said, I think the final boss's work is done. We just pulled off the greatest angle in wrestling history. I'm always here if you need me. Well, you weren't there at Mania when they needed you. So again, these are lies. The Rock's telling lies right now. I hope we agree. But it's best for the final boss to not be involved in that finish. No, it wasn't the best thing. Right? And you know that. So The Rock is bullshitting here. He's copping out. This is like what Brian Last says about The Rock. It's not what Meltzer said. Meltzer's still wrong. That's what Brian Last said. He's just bullshit. Rock's bullshitting right now. So you guys want to pick and choose what part of this we believe and don't? Holy fuck. The Rock says the top WWE star texted him saying their soul was for sale. And The Rock, he fucked up. Well, we have clips of this. So he fucked up. He says Seth Rollins is like our Superman earlier in the interview. And then he later on goes, oh, someone texted me, our Superman, a Superman in our company. And he's gonna join like this faction or whatever the fuck he's talking about. So pretty much he just stooged Seth's shit right there. We got clips. Let's play some clips. So let's listen to him saying it himself and listen to this actor speech. He's just acting.
I knew then the best thing for the final boss, we've established this idea of Cody's soul. We can always come back to it. I did feel, and I made the call, I don't want to be involved in that. Step back. Let the final boss step back into the shadows. Let all the spotlight go to John. Let it go to Cody. Let's not make it about Cody's soul eventually or John's soul. No, let's let them do what they do. And I called John after Elimination Chamber, spoke to him, called Cody, and I said, I think the final boss's work is done. We've established it. We just pulled off the greatest angle in the history of professional wrestling, other than Hulk Hogan turning heel back in the 90s. I said, this is amazing. We have 6 weeks. Now, let's build. You guys go and crush it. And I'll be right there with you. And I'm always here if you need me. But I think it's best for the final boss not to be involved in that finish.
That's a fucking lie, dude. I don't care what anyone says. He's just bullshitting. He's trying to... Guys, he's trying to make himself not look like an asshole for just not showing up while making excuses for not showing up. Do you guys get it? Meltzer wasn't right about shit.
Finish. You guys go. So they had 6 weeks to plan for that. So I love the finish of the match.
So... The Rock says that TKO CEO Ari Emanuel called him for help because ticket sales for the chamber were slow and wanted something must-see. So is that what he was stooging on McAfee? So this is the thing, right? Either Ari way in advance, so people are like, oh, The Rock was just called. Some people are saying it. He said he was called however long ago. Okay, so when Ari went on McAfee and was like, you can't miss the chamber, it's going to be insane. This isn't, the math isn't mathing on the timeline. I know because I chronicle this shit every week. I just think The Rock's lying, guys, okay? So are we to believe now that Meltzer's owed an apology because of fucking Hollywood actors telling a bunch of bullshit because he let a bunch of fans down and he's here doing damage control because his rep just got back in Hollywood and he's landing these roles and he wants to keep his rep? What do you guys fucking think? And he goes, I came up with the whole sell your soul idea, then never paid it off. And then, so he came up with the whole sell your soul idea. And then a minute later, he goes, in this interview, he goes, yeah, I mean, The Rock doesn't need to be a part of this. You know, The Rock story's done here. You guys run. He doesn't need to be a part of this one anymore. It's like, no, dude, he's talking on both sides of his ass here.
They know, and I come to them, and them meaning Triple H and Nick and Ari as well, and I lay this out, and I say, hey, here's how I really feel it should go. We can insert Final Boss in the end of this finish, but then where do we go? There's other commitments that I have.
See? But then where do we go? You go to the soul thing. You motherfucker, you put that people's title on the line that you had Ali's fucking widow hand you. That was a whole fucking point last year. Like, The Rock's, he's lying right now. And he has other commitments that took over what he's going to do. And at 40, that was the last match we'll ever get from The Rock, which is fine. There won't be the last appearances in wrestling, but next time he shows up, he's just trying to save it so that next time he shows up, people still care. But most people, and I think wrestling fans now, are looking at him like, fuck you. Next time he shows up and gaslights us with a promo, I think people are just going to be, they're going to be like, nah, they're just going to reject it. So he's doing this as damage control.
And I want to also be careful that we're not overstepping and leading over our skis too much here. Can get involved in the finish. And I said, but why get involved in that finish when the spotlight should just be on, in my opinion, John 17 heel champion? What is 20?
Because you came out with Travis Scott, and Travis Scott was in a part of the finish, so it only makes sense that you were a part of the beatdown and you helped John Cena win in 17, and it puts more heat on all of you. And then you guys, on the next night on Raw, you introduce that Heyman and fucking Seth or like Drew McIntyre's also in your crew, and then you have Drew sort of carrying the fucking torch week to week. He can have matches, blah, blah, blah. People aren't just going after him. In fact, people are more scared to go after Drew or give him repercussions for any of his actions because he knows that he's tight with the final boss. You're lying, Rock, and that's okay. And people want to believe you for just the Meltzer part, but it's bullshit.
25 look like if this man is saying he's going to ruin professional wrestling? That to me is the anchoring storyline. It's not soul right now. Right now, it's not. But by the way, we'll go back to it. We'll
still got it. Yeah, still.
They know.
And then also, like, okay, let's say, because a lot of people are saying, well, it was at work. Like Cena said he's going to ruin pro wrestling, and look at that ass finish. And they knew it. Like they knew this would all work out. And then The Rock will come back when he can, and they'll go back to the soul thing. And Cody versus Rock doesn't need a belt, and blah, blah, blah. Maybe they do. Maybe they do, right? Like I'm not over here like David LaGreca freaking out and losing my shit. And maybe they do that. But I think, and I don't blame The Rock for not going out there and getting physical, although he could have not even got physical. He could have just walked out and stood at the top of the ramp. And then they could have just like added another guy like Drew in the ring with Travis and Cena. And then you're like giving the rub to another guy while telling the story of old man Cena getting the belt, because let's face it, right? Like nobody like new is really getting more over from this situation, especially with The Rock not being there. So I just think there were so many better ways they could have did this. And I mean, I'm not going to sit here and cry about the booking, right? Because we need ebbs and flows. Like next year's Mania is going to blow me away. Because this ending didn't, and I'm gonna be like, hell yeah, they nailed theirs, or maybe it's shitty again. Who fucking knows, man? We can't predict the future. It's not like, oh, I'm done being a wrestling fan. All these dramatic pussies, like you fucked us and all this shit. Like, okay, dude, there's gonna be Mania next year. You know, can't be fucking 40 every year. It can't be 20 every year. It can't be 30 every year. So, I've said that enough though on the last stream, but him just saying they'll go back to the soul. It's just such a dumb fucking thing, man. And The Rock says Seth's our Superman. And then he goes on to say, there's one guy who's my guy, da-da-da, and he's a Superman or whatever.
I thought Seth is always delivers. He's our Superman. I love that guy. Connected with him after the show. The text that I got and from the guys that I got, who are these top guys who are saying, you know, one in particular who I love is my guy. I call him the Superman of the company. He's like, listen, my soul's for sale when it's time. And I said, I love it. Let's do it. So I thought.
Yeah, man. So he's talking about Seth. So let's say Seth and Paul. Seth and Braun are together, so maybe they don't do that, but I'm just saying, adding a guy doesn't need to be Seth. It could be Drew, whoever. Just adding a guy who's like that dude week to week, a workhorse. I think that would have been key. Like a heater for Cena as well. Like Cena's not here, but my representative's here and whatever. And then people are calling him an ass kiss and everything, but no one will do shit because they don't want to get in trouble with the boss and all that, you know? And then you can get like a non-title feud between Cody Rhodes. Well, maybe Cody's taking a little time off, but when he comes back, you know? It's like him fighting their lackey or whatever. I just think that would have been more the way to go. I don't know who's not pitching this shit, but yeah, Seth saying he will sell his soul and join that group possibly. Let's listen to more Rocky. People saying he's on some bullshit.
But he was trying to tell you differently. Like, no, Final Boss. Anytime you're around is a good thing, not a bad thing.
No, well, they don't have to say anything like that to me. And they know when I come to them, and them meaning Triple H and Nick and Ari as well, and I lay this out and I say, hey, here's how I really feel it should go. We can insert Final Boss in the end of this finish, but then where do we go? There's other commitments that I have.
Yeah, so we pretty much listen to all that, but yeah, we can do this, but then where do I go? It's like, well, you fucking have a match. Well, I can't have a match because contractually I can't, or I can't risk whatever. Like going to Scorsese and going, hey, dude, I blew my fucking bicep. And he's like, what? So end it somehow. End it at the Mania. Show up and fucking... like something, I don't know, bro, but that whole thing, like, well, where do I go? That's the bullshit. That's where it's like, if you're planning all this in advance, then I don't know. I believe what Brian Last has said about The Rock more now is just basically it. I'm not giving Meltzer credit for anything, for guessing all the time and being wrong about every single thing ever other than AEW stooging what they have planned. Because him and Tony text. I'm not giving him credit for that. I'll give Brian Last, who, you know, even when Cornette's like, well, he's a big superstar and da-da-da, and Last's just like, he's so phony. Like, Last will always just call him out, and I think that's what we're getting. And I do think Triple H botched a little bit by not having the foresight to plan this out better. I got to be honest. But, yeah, that, ladies and gentlemen, was WWE news. Where's my breaking news here? Let's check in with chat. Chatty, yaddy, yaddy. Okay. Just want to find where we are here. Yeah, let's check in with chat, and then yeah, we'll play some flutes. So Cash Monet for 2 says stop using media literacy incorrectly. No, I'm not. When I say it, bro. Or yeah, are you just talking about the IWC? That's what they do all the time. I'm saying they throw that shit around all the time. And I'm like, this is like, when I say it, I'm saying, I don't know if it's media literacy. Like, I'm throwing that out sarcastically because I know, bro, people use that term now. And it's like, you don't even know how to read. You know, what are you talking about? Like, you can't just, it's just like projection, you know? Or like when people say gaslight all the time. It's just like, shut up, you know? Most people use it incorrectly. It's like, but yeah, no, I definitely dig that. So Jamie Hayter just got a big win as well. So I like her over Stat. So hopefully they're not giving up on her yet. Dwayne, my good friend Dwayne the Rock Johnson. Yeah, I think that's what someone said to me, or maybe even Sapp himself said that to me once. You need to learn media literacy. Or someone said that when I was talking about like a fucking news article or something, and I was like, what are you talking about? You know what I'm saying? So CEO's coming out. Sia, Ia, Oa. So we're gonna get Hayter. Is gonna get smoked by Mercedes next, I guess. Yeah, so give Hayter a win over Stat, because fuck Stat. And then have Hayter lose to Monet, because fuck Hayter. And then she just dances around. So they're just talking shit while Excalibur's reading 500 matches. Rabid Wolverines LC Killer 17 says, I'm dealing with a flu. Going to the doctor tomorrow. Going to sleep now. Bye-bye. Dude, get better. You know what I'm saying? Just stay hydrated. Just stay hydrated. And you know what they say.
Sometimes in life, you got to be a hoe.
Okay, get some rest.
Be gone.
Thanks for being here. No overrun this week. Yeah, it doesn't seem like it. Good for them. Good for them. So Double or Nothing, May 25th. So like a month away. Okay, well, we need some flutes in chat, ladies and gentlemen. I want to see flutes in chat. Flutes in chat, please. Flutes in chat, please. Flutes in chat, please. Okay, yeah, so that ended with Monet. What a fucking wet fart of a show. Okay, guys, let me hydrate here. We're going to make fun of Dave Meltzer some more. It's been a while, dude, because Mania, we skipped over some Dave Meltzer dumb moments. He stayed rather quiet about shit, you know, as well. And then now he's just arguing with people like he's the fucking Wizard of Oz all of a sudden. Because he's got a few marks going, everyone owes Dave and I'm all now. Okay. Ugh. That's disgusting. Fucking grapefruit soda water. Trash. Soda water. All soda waters are great. Okay, so I'm sharing the wrong thing there. I'm glad you guys could see that. Show's not done. Don't go anywhere. Flutes in the chat, please. Flutes in the chat. Because it is time for everyone's favorite segment, certainly mine. And it is called Dave Meltzer's Dumb Moment of the Week. So Wavy Davy, man, he puts out an offer here. New subscriber offer 1 month at 50% off. All the fucking Dave and Trine Brian you can handle. So Switchblade takes a screen grab of Dave Meltzer. Meltzer's arguing, or not arguing, I guess he's talking. He's responding to Wrestle Purists, of course. You know, he's going to respond to fucking Elboo and Wrestle Purists. So HBK it's a quote from HBK saying, old timers like me often talk about these kids don't sell anything like we did. But at that time, I remember people saying that to me. Dave Meltzer goes, Sean was smart enough to learn from the criticism he heard, given he was actually much better than those who criticized him. Dave, you don't learn from criticism from people better than you. Some guys get this. A large percentage don't seem to. I said in the mirror, Brian. Dave also got worked by Seth, too. So Seth Rollins says he's open to facing CM Punk in MMA, calling for Dana White to book a UFC fight, right? And then Meltzer goes, actually, pro wrestlers without strong kickboxing backgrounds or college wrestling experience should not talk fighting in UFC. God, Dave is like this old guy. Like, now if he's going to start talking about MMA and shit, it's like, no, now you're in my world, especially. And it's like, you're not, bro. Why'd he just say kickboxing or wrestling? Well, what if he's a black belt in jiu-jitsu? That's also a credible background. You know what I mean? He could. What if somebody's a multi-time, like, let's say they're an amateur boxing champ or had a strong record, maybe won a Golden Gloves, maybe had a pro fight or two, is also in pro wrestling. I mean, boxing could also be a base to start with, you know? Obviously, kickboxing, he's talking about the well-roundedness of it. The wrestling is the most dominant thing anybody should have, but he should just say, like, training in general. It's just, that's like the old fogey thing. It's like, in this fight, we have the Kempo karate versus sumo wrestling. It's like, yeah, Dave, people train like MMA now, and like, I don't know, just his out of touch ways of phrasing things and shit. I always get a kick out of the most. Or college wrestling experience. What if he was a fucking college? What if he's like a JUCO guy or something? Like, Dave, just shut the fuck. I guess that is junior college, but I mean, people can make those teams, I think, without even, right? Like, what if you're like, why college? You know, what if he was a NCAA guy in the Olympics, Dave? You know, well, then he would have a college background. It's just funny that he narrows it down. It's like, I don't know, man. MMA is like a funny thing. Like, if you're incredibly athletic and you played like in the NFL, you can have a run in the heavyweight division in 2025. Not saying you're going to win the title, but like, let's be honest, man. All the super juicy roid rager guys are gone. It's mostly just the big boys, the O-linemans now. Like, if you got enough power, bro, and you impress Dana White enough, you can make a run. So it's just cute when Dave gets all like old school, you know? Should not talk fighting in UFC. It's like, yeah, dude, but against Punk. Should not talk fighting, but you mean Seth versus Punk? Seth's not saying, oh, I'm going to go fight Colby Covington, or like, you know, I want to go fight Islam Makhachev, dude. Like, no, he's not doing that. Right? It's just super funny. It's very cute. He's very cute the way. I'm surprised he didn't say like, oh, if you don't train UFC, then you shouldn't try and go. Like, that's how it just comes across to me. I don't know. Just his vernacular. But yeah, he's just getting worked by pro wrestlers as usual. So this Trevor Dame guy is like, I do think it's hilarious that WWE plays the nepotism angle. You know, the promotion with 3 generations of promoters currently being run by the son-in-law of the 3rd gen who's top. Whatever. I mean, that was Nick Khan playing the nepotism angle, but no, you're not wrong about that. But it's not really them playing an angle. They're just saying the truth of the matter. You know, like, for instance, Triple H had to work to become known as Triple H. He had to work really hard. Tony Khan didn't really have to work for anything. They gave him this wrestling company, so he stopped fucking around with the football team and everything. But yeah, Dave goes, the most hilarious is Vince was handed the #1 promotion in the country with the biggest population base in grossing arenas. The billionaire's son had to start from scratch. Oh my God, Dave. So fucking cringy. Not knocking that Vince expanded the business exponentially, but his failures in football starting from scratch within network exposure were far worse than TK's success in wrestling. Also, Vince would never take on WWE and wrestling today. Like, he knows Vince would never do that. I called him, you know, like, what do you mean he would never do that? How do you know he would never do something? So dumb. Ospreay now has 55. He has 55+ star matches from Dave Meltzer, with his match against Konosuke from Dynamite being given 5.5. Ospreay has over 55 stars. Dave Meltzer says, apparently Mariah May made it clear at the time of her trilogy match with Toni Storm at Revolution that she was not signing a new AEW deal, so they booked it at that time for that reason. No shit, Dave. But yeah, she hasn't been on TV. She's just been gone, and she's out of there. Good riddance. Well, like, not good riddance, because I want to see her like do shit in NXT, but you guys get what I'm getting at. So Dave Meltzer arguing with fucking Omega Man X44 says, that doesn't address my question. You said the ratings were under lock and key. Clearly they're not, as people have access to the NBA numbers, and here are the numbers for a non-pro sports show. The show wasn't a weekly episode show, so they wouldn't have weekly ratings. Okay? And then Meltzer goes, quote me one sports on Max number. You mean the NBA ones? Fuck. The fact a show that gets 10 million was released doesn't change that virtually all numbers are not released. Virtually. In VR, Brian. I don't know if you know this yet. I don't know if I've ever told you this yet, Brian, but...
The best guy is Tony Khan.
You know, actually, well, Brian...
And...
So, Disco Inferno says, why are you so obsessed with speculating on AEW viewership? What is the end game here? Whatever the number is only affects attendance. And we know attendance is down. You sound like a fool. Exactly, dude. It's like, okay, more people watch the show. So are more people going to the shows? No, then you're dumb. It's that simple. Okay, then you're dumb. Because okay, more people watch, so that's why All in Texas, it's fucking less people going to it than any other, like, what? It just doesn't matter, Dave. Like, I just don't get why he's so obsessed with trying to prove invisible numbers with invisible math. So yeah, Ospreay versus Takeshita gets a 5.5. He just Abaddon responds to someone who says this here. AEW's, so Dave Meltzer goes, AEW is reportedly planning on letting Abaddon and Nick Comoroto's contracts expire. And then Abaddon goes, man, I can't wait to make my own announcement. And it's like, yeah, Dave, quit just because Tony fucking texts you this, stop blowing up their spots, fucking up everyone else's shit, because you're a fucking stupid stooge and you only get relayed information from AEW. So Switchblade says, what they never tell you is that 50% of the company was owned by Monsoon, Scaland, and Zacco, who would have zero reason to sell him the company at a discount. Only Vince Sr.'s half was sold at a discount. WWE was valued at $1.6 million, and Vince got it for $1 million. Do you guys not understand that too? So when Rob Jackson tags Bischoff and goes, can we get your hot take on this? Is Dave correct in saying Vince was handed his success? Meltzer goes, I never said that. I did say he got a sweetheart deal to own the most successful wrestling company and have a base. He worked his ass off for his business success. And that's what Switchblade breaks down here. He only owned half the shit. That's why he had to pay the shit back, or the ownership goes back to fucking who? He bought his dad's out, but it would fucking Gorilla would own it and shit. You guys get it? Like, it would have just went back if he missed one payment. His dad gets all the shit back and Monsoon owns their portion and shit. That's what Dave never talks about, man. So Dave claims WWF were doing 10 million in revenue in 82. So at a sale price of 1 million, Vince got the company at 10% of revenue in 82. In 80, ExxonMobil. So he's using own Dave's shit to karate kick him in the nuts. ExxonMobil, the largest revenue grossing company in the world, was valued at 40% of revenue. Look how Switchblade does this fucking math, guys. Oh, you're an obsessed freak. Why do you care? To correct the record books, because we've had this asshole lying since the fucking 80s, and you're just mad because you gave him $15. So Switchblade saying, based on the value of Monsoon and Co.'s share relinquished to Capital Wrestling Corporation, fair value for WWF in 82 would have likely been 1.6 million, which is 16% of revenue. Vince Jr. got roughly a 75% discount in Vince Sr.'s 50% share of the company and an extremely favorable payment plan, which allowed him to get the company with $250K paid down and the rest in installments. However, there's zero reason to believe that he got any kind of discount on Monsoon & Co. share. There's zero motive for them to have given him any discount. Modern day company valuations are highly inflated, so it sounds like pennies on the dollar without an 80s context. And this whole robbing Peter to pay Paul thing is an extremely common method of purchasing a business. Pay X% up front and then pay off the rest in installments using company revenue over a certain period of time. So there you go, Dave. Like, you can't fucking even lick off a tweet that intelligible. You're just like, read my books I made up, and you're dumb. So Randy Orton is still planned for a match at WrestleMania. So this is before Mania, following the announcement of Kevin Owens. And yeah, Observer just said it's to be determined, which we knew because that's, if you watch the show, you know that. So Dave Meltzer responds to No DQ here, and No DQ tweets out, Triple H calls out internet wrestling websites that ruin surprises for WWE fans. Meltzer goes, as long as you're consistent, the point of view is valid. Problem is, does WWE itself go on social media and post things from NXT and SmackDown every single week before it airs in 20+% of the country, thus spoiling it for a larger percent of its own audience than everyone else put together? When you live in CT, you don't think California, but you do it yourself constantly. No, Dave, he's talking about the stuff that they don't show on the show. You fucking moron. What a literal dumb fucking loser. And Dave's also going to defend. Hey, Dave, apologize to me, because you're also going to defend this, right? You're also going to defend what you're fucking saying here, or come up with this stupid fucking analogy. Like, yes, something happens on the show, then they tweet it out. That's not the same as like Rusev signed and is whatever. Not that you even get news like that, but the thing is that you do that to AEW all the time. You ruin AEW shit all the time. Abaddon just called you out. Why are you stooging her fucking, like, that's not on the show. That's nowhere to be tweeted out that she's leaving or whatever. But anyways, Dave Meltzer goes, as long as you're consistent, you're not consistent. And you're going to defend this because you stooge AEW all the time and you don't care about AEW. And that's my biggest problem, man. Dave Meltzer has heard, this is what I tweeted out. Dave Meltzer has heard AEW the worst with the spoilers and eagerness to stooges text between him and TK to add context to some of the stories on the shows that nobody understands. He stooged Danielson and Edge, so of course he'll defend this. It's the only thing he has left. Or maybe The Rock will lie and say you're right. Maybe that'll get you over again. Meltzer says 700,000 gain over 1.6 million is 44%. What are they arguing about here? So he's arguing with Raj again. So Meltzer goes, actually, WWE claimed a 44% increase on main event, and that's a network broadcast, not a cable broadcast. The 10% for the Super Bowl is also a network telecast that draws an older audience, as opposed to TBS TNT, that among 18 to 49 viewers only hits 38.5%. I'm fucking snoozing because that shit's boring. Raj says, I was talking about the last Saturday night with the technical issues. Are you saying WWE claimed a 44% increase with that one? I still get press releases, and I never saw that. For the first time, WWE Saturday Night Main Event, WWE did claim 700K for streaming and 2.3 million total viewers, which would be 30% streaming, and I called BS on that immediately. And then Meltzer goes, 700,000 gain over 1.6 million is 44%. And then Raj goes, 700K on top of 1.6 is a total of 2.3. 700K of 2.3 is 30.4%. What the fuck are these guys rambling about? No. He goes, you're skipping the actual point for semantics. This is what we're getting to. How Dave will play semantics, okay? So feel free to respond to the actual point if you'd like. If the NBA had been averaging 1.4 on TNT and Feb, and the Bethel article says they've been averaging 1.7 to 2 M on Max, that means as much as 59% of the audience is on Max. Does that not sound like complete horseshit to you? And if it does, how can you keep citing that article? Boom. Because Dave keeps going to it, even though he himself has said that it was bullshit and the math and it was janky. So here, the fans give their thoughts on Dave Meltzer to Mickey James and Mackie Ito here at GCW, or at the WrestleCon Super Show, rather.
So I know you guys are going to see a lot of wrestling this week.
There you go. We need that for the soundboard. Meltzer sucks. Meltzer sucks. Even Dynamite Dave is saying he can't get through Collision anymore. So maybe he is cooking here. Maybe Dave's cooking lately, but everybody wakes up eventually. Collision's like a miss. If I miss it, I'm not crying about it, but I always eventually will throw it on just for context. I'm an Uber Mark. What can I say? It's like if I miss an NXT, because I'm busy, I got to watch it. Like I can't go on a full week without watching it,
I feel like, especially like, what I watched of Collision, because I didn't watch all of it. It does feel like there's a direction. It does feel like the momentum is better. It's not, it's still not where I would, like it to be. I don't know that it can get there, with WWE being as strong as it is, but it's doing better. So, that's like...
It's doing better from the part that I don't finish watching. It's doing better. How's it doing better if you didn't watch it all? So Meltzer goes streaming views and how Nielsen charts viewers are entirely different. Explain in April 7th story and multiple other times. And then Raj Giri says, yep, which is why I wrote streaming views. Streaming views is minutes viewed divided by runtime. If you think the NBA on average is doing 1.7 million to 2 million views during the regular season using that metric, then I have a bag of magic beans to sell you. Fucking cooking them, bro. Here, this is amazing. Whoever made this, Ashley Kulkuhoun, made us some fucking titles here. Round of applause for these guys. Glorious. We need to hand these out. We need to crown these at the end of the year for Meltzer's biggest L. You know what I mean? So Meltzer said what here? Yeah, we got to keep that in there. Meltzer said what is responding to someone who, Brian Gewirtz, who says 0 for 2. And this was back March 8th. And so when the fuck was this? Yeah, this is a long ass time ago. I think we already covered this, and this was just trapped in here. Oh, no. Sorry. Meltzer said what quote tweeted himself and says, been worked on for a long time. Yeah, just laughing at Meltzer. So the AAA sale happens, and then Meltzer's like, oh, this is not out of nowhere. Been worked on for a long time. It's like, yeah, you heard it first on PWT, bitch. If Dave didn't fear flutes and fear facts and fear the Wagyu beef business, he'd be here and know that I let everybody I was like, hey, this could be a thing. Even before that guy tweeted under sap shit. So all I'm saying is, Meltzer, don't fear the flutes, man. And then Alfred Konua roasting Meltzer. So Meltzer's like, Bianca versus Sky versus Ripley is up next. This was on, and then he deleted it. This is on night 1 of Mania. Meltzer tweeted out that this match that wasn't on the fucking show, that was on the other night or whatever, like this match is up next, and everyone cooked him. He deleted it. But Alfred Konua was like, this same man will spend 25 minutes on Observer Radio complaining about WWE using inaccurate numbers for WrestleMania attendance. Exactly. And Dave will be like, if you studied, if you learn, if you analyze, if you read the 80 million words I've written. Meanwhile, it's like he can't even get his itinerary right. He doesn't even know what he's watching. He probably didn't even watch WrestleMania. He probably had some fucking mark there DMing him shit about it. But Dave Meltzer goes, Cobb likely to WWE. Story and timing is very interesting. Why is it very interesting? Because fucking Nuge is getting scooped. So Meltzer on Jeff Cobb and The Rock, he says, well, there is no confirmation of the two things were related, given that they happened within several hours of each other, and there was very clearly the idea of secret message being sent. They could easily be related. So we have to hit an X-Files for conspiracy. Dave Alex Jones Meltzer here. But maybe they could be connected. Honestly, like I just think people jumping off the ship and getting out of New Japan is all in relation to potentially TKO and WWE getting involved with New Japan. It wouldn't shock me whatsoever. And also Jeff Cobb has to jump at that opportunity. And then Dave is talking about there's a lot of stuff when it comes to TNA now. Okay, it's believed by those close to the situation that WWE will end up owning TNA while blocking AEW from international TV deals. Yeah, they might do that. I could see them owning it eventually, but also maybe not just TNA. I could see Endeavor like absorbing fucking Anthem or something like that. I don't even know if that's a thing that could happen or if that would monopolize TV space or something, but it could be even just bigger than TNA. Is all I'm getting at. But yeah, Dave's like, there's a lot of stuff that's going to be part of this deal, but the key stuff is they want to get TNA on those television outlets that WWE is leaving. I'm sure India being the big one, so AEW doesn't get those television outlets that they're leaving. He just said that twice. Because all of their shows are on Netflix internationally. They can't put anything on those stations, so they want to make sure it's not AEW on those stations. So that's one of the many reasons that they're doing this. I know people who are close to the situation think it will end up with WWE owning TNA. That's what everyone's been saying since the beginning. They likely would have bought it if they were gonna. Maybe they think it operates better on its own, But Dave Meltzer, of course, he's sour grapes. He's like, for whatever reason, Jeff Cobb didn't have a lot of interest in AEW, where he also could have gone. Brian, I don't know if you know this. He could have also gone there, but I don't know why he didn't, Brian. We know, dude. He didn't want to go there. He got a taste of that before and he didn't fucking like it. So he ain't gonna go there. And that's cool. He just needs to get out of there and get to WWE while the door's open for whatever reason it is. Cobb can't worry about the marks and the fucking sicko fans. He just has to do what's best for him. Dave Meltzer doesn't think any match from Mania Night 2 will top Rollins, Punk, and Roman from Night 1. I don't think they'll top this match. I think it'll be very difficult. We'll see. Cena versus Rhodes will obviously get every opportunity to do it, but that's a big ask. Yeah, I don't know. I think that might have been the match of the card. So yeah, Meltzer said what just goes off on BJ Bethel, drops facts on him here. The numbers, we just spit all the numbers. I'm not going to read them all, but he just buries BJ Bethel. He's like, why are you posting like such a gotten to in the bag, whiny, totally not grifting little bitch over your fake max numbers that you were fed? How come before this story came out, all your in the bag media buddies mock numbers not even close to this? Yeah, because Bethel's a clown, bro. Somehow he makes the Meltzer segments now. So here we go. Brian Alvarez trying, Brian. He's trying, right, Brian? This place is a fucking madhouse. So he like left his suite or whatever, the Observer. What did I tell you? Brian Alvarez has turned his back on the F4W WrestleMania suite party to join Yeeta Mania. And yeah. Or I don't think they had an actual, well, maybe they fucking do. I don't know, but it's just a matter of like Meltzer won't go to these things. Alvarez actually went boots on the ground and can actually do coverage of this thing, unlike fucking Meltzer. So Brian's trying. We give Brian fucking a trying for trying, right? So Meltzer says, well, there has been some concern online about a potential injury after Braun Breaker grabbed his knee on Raw. He is reportedly okay. Like Dave's getting worked by them selling their fucking body parts on Raw and shit like that. Here's really a really quick clip of Seth Rollins cooking Meltzer.
is the star ratings, because they're completely arbitrary. They're completely arbitrary. They're not even based on real statistics. It's just one guy watching the match going, whoa. Yeah, 2
the best guys, Tony Khan.
stars, 3.5 stars. Like, what are we talking about? At least
Yeah, dude, that's a Triple H guy right there. So just all these people, I broke this down already. So, just people like Meltzer had every detail on the story, from Rock pulling out of the Cody match to wanting Cody to turn heel, and everyone called him a fraud. He is a fraud. I just wrote a broken clock's right twice a day. I thought you all thought The Rock was completely full of shit, though, but on this, you're taking him at his word. The Rock himself literally said Dave was full of shit and a fraud then, so what changed now? Just Mark's love getting worked, because that's all it is. Like, Rock is just working people right now. Meltzer did a 0.16 on ESPN2 in response to what? NCAA hockey championships, college hockey draws like that. So 0.16. And then Disco goes, dude has never changed the channel when wrestling is on. Tries to give an expert analysis on what other shows people are watching besides wrestling. It's hilarious that there are people that think he knows what he's talking about. Yeah, it is, man. We're almost done here, guys. So Neckbeards puts out a tweet and says $14.99, please. And he completely owned Dave here. So Pete Doyle's like, amazing how you all latch onto the same buzzword, geeked. Show me not one of you has stepped back and looked at this from any other perspective but Dave's, and it's just WWE hate. And then Meltzer goes, wrestling has been around for more than 100 years. Show me one example of a significant company's world champion losing a 3-minute squash to a non-champion of another company. No other promotion in history would have allowed that. So that's the non-TNA opinion in 100 years of wrestling of such a thing, Brian. And yeah, man, this match was, I mean, here, you just pull it up, dude. Taz fought Mike Awesome in it wasn't that long of a match. It was like a 5-minute match or something. Also, I'm pretty sure Triple H and Taz fought for the title, didn't they, as well? And that match might have been longer, but yeah, dude, he got completely shitted on. I mean, I don't know what Dave's trying to do here. And he always says oh, it's been around for 100 years. Then Dave, if you're talking about the wrestling from 100 years ago and you're trying to bring that up, then for a fact that this wrestling you're giving 5 stars to is bullshit, right? Because for a fact pro wrestling was oh, we got to fucking get more flagrant, sell more tickets, and not hurt our fucking selves. We can do more matches if we don't actually fuck each other up, right? So I think Dave's just off on that. I don't know what to tell you guys. So I said now Dave's the Wizard of Oz, because now he's just incorrect. He's just fucking, now he's got the inside scoop. He knows he's pulling the curtain back on the Rock Triple H stuff, even though here's the thing. The Rock basically said Dave was entirely wrong and then was right about, but is also right about some of the sporadic nature of his stuff all at the same time. But as we showcased on this show, The Rock also said, yeah, the final boss is done. He's done for this story, but we can bring him back later when it's well, the soul was part of the story, or we can go back to the soul later. He was just talking out of both sides of his ass. That's why I fucking did that the way I did. And then here's, people, 2.1K likes and people are agreeing. I responded to this and I was like, listen, because this guy tweets out, it's bad when I agree with Meltzer and Alvarez. And this was right after Mania. And so I just responded. I was like, you saying you agree with Meltzer and Alvarez is probably a wake-up call that you're being too emotional over this Mania, which you are, right? Because you likely don't even agree with them. But they might make some points here. I mean, yeah, people bitching about the Mania well within their rights, acting like the fucking world ended. I think you're more within your right after hearing what The Rock said. But acting like the world ended or is the worst Mania of all time, I don't fucking know about all that. I just don't know what people really expected. But either way, let's listen to what Meltzer and Alvarez. I did not listen to this full clip. Let's listen to what they had to say about WrestleMania, I guess night 1 or night 2. Yeah, this is night 2.
All right. Well, yeah, the show live, the first half of the show was great.
I thought so.
And as soon as they got to the Logan Paul match, I feel like everybody else hit the wall as well. And from that point forward, it was a combination of factors because there was great heat for the main event. There was tremendous heat for the main event. And there was a big pop for Becky. But I mean,
there's going to be a big pop for Becky.
But as far as like sustained,
of course, there's going to be a big pop for Becky, Brian.
Reactions prior to the main event, and then the main event was just a bad match.
It was a bad,
with a disappointing.
It was a bad match. It was a bad match in execution, but it was a really bad match.
Why? Wait. So now they're burying like the match. It was a bad match in execution. So. Like the headlock takeover Cena was doing wasn't good? Like, what do you mean? Like the spot where Cody Rhodes cut him off with the thing and everybody booed? I don't know. I don't know what was bad about all that. Anyways.
I mean,
bad in the scripting, Brian.
That's it was a bad finish. It's not even that the heel won. I mean, that's fine.
Well, everyone knew John Cena was going to win.
Yeah. So that's not the big deal, but when Cody had the belt and he wouldn't use it, it's like, man, it's not this. It's like I can't believe that passed like any, like you got to go through all these channels, right? I can't believe like every channel all the way up.
Well, this was right before he got low blowed, right?
Yeah,
yeah.
He looked
well. I mean, he looked like an idiot. And they've
been protecting this guy for 3 years.
I realize that
as a babyface, and then they put him in a position where he looks like a babyface that you could never get behind.
Well, what I'm going to say is, I'm wondering.
I don't know about that either. That you can never get behind. I don't know, dude. Everybody's acting so dramatic. You threw away 3 years. It's like, no. The whole thing is that if you corrupt, Cody is refusing to like corrupt himself. Right. And that's with everybody almost so far. So even with the Brock Lesnar thing, like Brock was trying to push him and he like bloodied Brock up in the buckle, but it was kind of like Brock who was, I guess Cody did rip that pad off or whatever from the German, but it was kind of like, it's like the Daredevil. You guys watching Daredevil? It's like there comes a point where Murdoch is just like, fuck it. I'll literally just start killing people. I'm like enjoying this. There's a part where he's fighting Muse and Muse is just fucking hitting him with shots and Murdoch just drops his hands like Kimbo Slice and just eats a bunch of punches and is like, oh, like screaming like he loves it. That's sort of like Cody Rhodes. We're just eventually he is going to take that nut shot or hit someone with a belt. So I don't know, it made you go like you can't get behind him, right? He's like the ultimate white meat babyface guy. So you just got to keep him like that. That's just consistent with who he's been,
If
unlike Gunther, like when Gunther hits people with titles, I'm like, that's fucking dumb because he's the ring general. The mat is sacred. Like he wouldn't do that to win. He just tries and beats people legit. So I don't like when he hits people with belts and shit. And he's a fucking heel. So I don't know. Dave talking like, oh, this is this old thing. It's like, you're an old thing, dude.
No, they're going to turn him heel too?
No, I'm wondering if John Cena, if you watch John Cena work, he's all about stretching out every moment. And I'm wondering if like Cody was supposed to get that belt and get low blowed quickly. And instead, John Cena milked the moment, which actually made this poor guy look like an idiot because he didn't use the belt.
He looked so bad.
And then he booted him. I mean, it may not have been designed. I'm sure it wasn't designed to make him look like an idiot. But it could have been in the moment. Cena took too long. I don't know, but it did not.
I mean, it's plausible, but the way that they did it, it didn't feel like that was any mistake because he's there. He's got
plausible.
the face.
What are you talking about, man?
The conflict in his face. What am I going to do? So I don't think that was it. I think it was just one of those things where, he could beat him, but he didn't pull the trigger.
No, it's not that, Dave. Oh, fucking Dave's such a moron. I mean, yeah, they did all of these things. They conveyed that, oh, he was torn and what should I do and all that. But it wasn't all that. It was just like, oh, he could have hit him with the belt and win, but he didn't pull the trigger when he should have. No, Dave, it was all that stuff you said before, you fucking idiot. What a moron. Jesus Christ. I feel dumber listening to this.
And it's like, this whole story of the feud is that he got beat up and he never got mad about it. and he came out for debates and all that.
He never got mad about it when he was screaming at the top of his lungs during those promos, and he came out for debates, and he didn't fucking hit crossroads on Cody or on Cena or anything.
But we're going to build to this big match. And then the match happens, and he's got a chance for revenge, but he doesn't want to cheat. And it's like, it's the main event at WrestleMania. I mean, it's just, a grudge match.
I do agree with like him not wanting to cheat, but yeah, like I do agree with he should have been like open hand slapping motherfuckers, be willing to use chairs and fight back. And like, as soon as Travis Scott comes out, like, I'm not falling for that shit again. He should have just been more fired up and in it, but who knows if Cody had boo-boo face? Go back and watch. Maybe he had boo-boo face.
And then he gets low blowed because he doesn't want to cheat. And it's just like, how do we feel sorry for this guy? He had the belt in his hands, and Cena brought the belt. It's not like he got the belt first. They had a tug of war over the belt. Then he wouldn't use. I mean, and I'm wasting too much time on something that's a minor part of it, but it was like, but that was right before the finish.
Yeah, that's the problem. So Dave just admits, I'm wasting time on, that's just a minor thing. So let me just explain why it's so dramatic that we can never get behind this guy again. If it's just a minor thing. No, dude, listen, they struggled for the belt. Cody was like, I'm not going to do this. I want to, but I'm not gonna, because he's slowly going to fucking snap and he's going to turn heel too. And it was all that stuff you explained where you were like, but I don't think it's any of that. No, it was all that stuff. And because of that, you never get an apology. You have to apologize first. And because of that, you will forever get flutes played. And because of that, you get put in the number one moment in all of pro wrestling live show streaming. And that is Dave Meltzer's dumb moment of the week. I want to thank you all for being here tonight. Round of applause for the PWT universe. We did it, guys. We went through every segment. Sickos, Dave, all the news, a regular show once again. I appreciate you all for being here. Make sure you hit like, subscribe, follow. If you're over on X, check me out on YouTube, youtube.com/@prowrestletimes, youtube.com/@prowrestleclips, youtube.com/@philmarksout as well, if you want to hear me talk pop culture and stuff like that. And I appreciate you all. Saturday, I don't know what's going on. I might go on a little earlier if I can get one of my buddies guy to come on here. And we're just going to have a fun old time. Hopefully more news comes out. Hopefully you guys can share this with your friends. And take care of each other. It's getting nice out, man. It's Slurpee time. It's, it's hydrate time, though. Okay. So I appreciate you all. Thank you for being here. Take care of each other. Be good to each other. And until next time, I will see you all in the Upside Down. Peace.
It is a fast-acting viral strain that infects the host immediately, and upon getting sick, the infected will become racked with coughs, sweat profusely, and start to get the shivers and chills.
There he is, the legend. The man, the myth, the legend.
Yeah. You can't literally run a promotion just for the AEW, what do they call them, sickos?
Thank you very much, TikTok and AEW. See you tonight.
Tony Khan started telling people there's no such thing as long-term booking anymore. It's week to week.
The best guy is Tony Khan.
We just secured the bag.
It's not like I tried to be a character. It was just sort of happened naturally. But it was never something I intended. It was just something that happened because the wrestlers asked me to do things in matches, and I do them.
If you run a promotion just for the sickos, you're going to do 400,000 viewers eventually.
Effing Meltzer.
Know that SmackDown actually went over and everything?
Yeah. What's the point?
The point is SmackDown.
What are you getting at here?
That the DVRs didn't pick it up.
Did they not pick it up?
Mine didn't.
Let's get into everybody's favorite moment, and it is called Dave Meltzer's Dumb Moment of the Week.
What would you like to listen to in your ears?
I'd like to hear the flute.
Well, if you'd like to flaunt your flute, then we can find you a flautist.
We just secured the bag.
It doesn't help me. Okay, so complain, but I won't complain.
Let me have my misery.
And when I heard that, I was like, what?
Thank you, fuck you, bye, boom.
You gotta run a promotion for everybody. The sickos can be the ones that buy tickets first and spend the most money on the merchandise.
Because we have just secured the bag.
But like, you gotta promote for everybody. Then you'll have a lot of viewers.
I think we proved a lot of so-called experts. We made them look like idiots. We're not going anywhere. Tony Khan's not going anywhere.
You'll also be there on TNT. You'll be in 2 places at once. You'll be around like my favorite movie. Time. It's so great, Pittsburgh.
It's not like I tried to be a character. It sort of happened naturally.
The best guy's Tony Khan.